Good evening everybody. Welcome on board to my Sunday night stream and talking through the Wowhead blog. Let's go through into the delights of Dalaran. Let's stick the audio on. Good evening one and all. I hope you are having a lovely week. Batten down the hatches. We are in for a bumpy ride today with Storm Ciara here in the UK. It's been very windy today, but thankfully no power outages. Touch wood. Let's just hope that we remain that way for the next 3 hours. But good evening all. Lizelle coming straight in there with the 2 months. Thank you very much. And thank you for the extra remote as well. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Let me just quickly run through the welcomes of everyone who's been in. We have Safiosia, Darkwing, Wave, Saxon Girl, Metket, and Goalkeeper Mojin, and Trax is here. Good evening to you, and Barla Fumble, good evening, and Lizelle, thank you also for your sub. That's incredibly kind of you, and Landusk for the follow as well. It's very kind of you. Let's see a load of emotes for you. Thank you very much for your support. It really is appreciated. I hope you're all having a lovely weekend, and I hope this storm hasn't affected too many people here in the UK, and I think potentially Europe as well is getting it a little bit. But we've kind of had, we had a couple of fence panels down. That's about the worst of the damage, and there was a couple of trees down whilst I was out and about driving earlier today. But other than that, here in the south, we've been okay so far. So I hope everybody is safe and well. Good evening, one and all. So we're going to be talking about the Wowhead blog when that goes live. We'll talk about the fixes, Gumdrop's incredibly kind gesture that he did this week. We'll talk about the race for World First and their very large debt. And there's a couple of really nice videos that have come out for Classic as well. So we'll go through those once it's gone live. Andalieth, lovely there with the Brutathors. And Zivs, good evening to you. It's very windy out here. Yes, it is. Thankfully, we're not too bad at the moment. So hopefully everything's going to be alright. And Annette, good evening to you. Got some heavy winds in the middle of Sweden tonight as well. Okay, it's reached you as well, has it? And Prodsepepi, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Sorry if I butchered your name. And also Zupai Trek. They're very hard names to pronounce, but I hope I've got those slightly close. The hurricane is almost over here in the southwestern Denmark. If you asked about an hour ago, it was not fun with one of the dogs nervous about that amount of wind. Yeah, pets aren't too great when there's lots of stuff going on outside. Luckily our cats were okay. Oreo's in his... he's got a cardboard box up in my son's room, and so he's quite nicely ensconced up there. When he comes down, hopefully later on, I'll pop his camera on. And Perithus, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And the dude no one likes. Been very windy here in the heart of Jutland, Denmark. Right, okay, so it's definitely sort of like hitting the whole of Europe, it seems. And rainy as well. Yeah, there's some really big squalls coming through, which is a lot of rain and a lot of gusts of wind. So I hope everybody is well and safe. Oh, Rasheen, thank you very much for 14 months. That's amazing. Thank you very much for your continued support and your presence here. It really is appreciated. Let's see a whole load of emotes for Rasheen. Very, very kind of you. And Happiest coming in there with 5 months as well, with your Oreos as well. How are you, Happiest? Thank you for stopping by. You'll have a limited time to earn exclusive emotes. That's interesting. Is that... I'm not sure what that's for on there. It's just popped up in my chat. And good evening, everyone. Good evening into. And Happiest, thank you also. Let's put a load of emotes for you. And put that in. Oh, it's the hype train that's come through. 94%. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone, for your support. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you. You posted a question on my Discord just now, but a too long didn't read version would be, what does the divided by 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 1.228 part of the Veiled Crystal string mean? That's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to try and remember my actual workings out of those. Thank you very much, Bacon Bits, for the cheer as well. Very kind of you. It's a hype train that started, definitely. I saw the one that Sparety sent over to Senza, an offline one. That was absolutely amazing to hear that. That's fantastic. They both are incredible goal-making streamers. You should check them out as well. Will Webster, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And oh, that's more remotes coming in. They broke you. Oh dear. That's level 2 already. Wow, amazing. Thank you very much. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you also all for your support. Thank you all very much indeed. It's very kind of you. So I'll have a look, and we'll have a look and see what is going on in the World of Warcraft tonight. Let's have a look and see if the Wowhead blog has gone live yet. Have a quick look. Yep, it has. Well, actually, as of 9 minutes ago, here's me talking away, and it's already live. Let me just scroll on down and copy the command as normal, so that we have access to that and we can talk about it. So let me just go over here, go to my commands, and go. Look at that, level 2 hype train at 28%. Wow, thank you very much, Saxon Girl, for using your Prime. That's very kind of you. Let me just edit this command whilst I'm here. And I've got my train of thought. Speaking of trains, we'll go on that, we'll edit that and submit that. So now, hopefully, and Nameless, thank you very much for stopping by, hope you're doing well. And let's pop in the Wowhead command, Wowhead, and that should give you a link to the latest edition, the 111th edition of the Economy Wrap-Up. Wow, it's going through so fast. Seems like only yesterday that I did the 100th version. Amazing to think that Gumdrops did a whole 99 himself. That's absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can get to that ourselves in due course. So let's just make that go there. And then we can see everything there. And then let me just move my chat channels back here and back there so I can see everything coming in. But yes, once again, thank you, Saxon Girl, for your sub and your support. Really is appreciated. So, a load of emotes for you. Thank you very much. And Nephistra, thank you also for using your Prime. Love my videos. Thanks for all your great content. Oh, that's very kind of you to say so. I'm glad they've been useful to you. So, thank you very much for your support with Prime. That is really, really appreciated. And going up to 56% on the hype train. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Have I considered doing a gold making podcast? Interesting one, Lucid Fox. At the moment, I'm not sure whether I would actually have the time to fit that in. I'm barely getting enough time at the moment to play the game and do the Wowhead blog, and also stream. So it would be nice to be able to do more content. Certainly, I've got loads of YouTube videos that I still want to do. So it's all working towards that eventual goal of where I can do this full time, and that will be I'll be able to do hopefully a lot more content then. And Karali, thank you also using your Prime as well. 4 months, that's amazing. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for your support. We're nearly there on the level 2 hype train. I've never seen this go up so fast before. So thank you very much, everyone, for your support. The barrier to entry is so low, and you have a great voice for it. Oh, well, thank you very much, Lucid. It's certainly a good idea. I know if you haven't checked them out already, Lazy Goldmaker does a very good podcast about gold making. Let me see if I can find a link to that, because that is one to certainly consider. Let me find their website, and they do the Advantage of Trade chat is the latest one at the moment, World of Goldcast. Let me copy that into the link, and we'll pop that in there. Excellent, thank you very much. And Bullseye, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Oh wow, you achieved a level 1 hype train emote. Wow, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, everyone. That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you all. I've got this emote that I've got no idea how to use. Hype Griffin 5. There we go. Well, thank you, everyone. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you all. And I saw Tomcat come in there. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Actually, was just telling me earlier today about your new version of the add-on you've got for tracking lovers in the air. We'll have a check of that a bit later. I've installed it already preemptively. We'll have a look and we'll talk about that later. I'm just going to go through the Wowhead blog first. Not that one. We need to go through. Where's the blog? There it is. We'll bring that one up. What a chill stream. Almost forget that tomorrow is Monday. Yes, don't we all? It's a good way to good chill way to end the evening. No problem, Tomcat. Thank you very much for your work on all the add-ons that you do. It is very much appreciated. Specker, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. And Froswa, good evening to you. Meat is still doing awesome. Well, fantastic. Excellent. I hope it's doing... I haven't really... is this the new 8.3 meat? I haven't really tried it yet, but I would like to go through and do that a little bit further on in the future. I've still got to just get through everything else that I'm doing. We'll go through the economy wrap-up this week, though, because a few things to talk about already. So, first off, what did I talk about? Obviously, yes, so big congratulations to Complexity Limit for getting world first on Mythic N'Zoth. That was absolutely amazing. And then I saw a very interesting tweet that Maximum put out saying that they're 250 million gold in debt because of buying all the corruption BOEs. 250 million golds. I know that's absolutely amazing. I know Hecons also replied saying that he had, that's about 1/3 of his total liquid gold, which for any one person to have is absolutely amazing. You have the rocket, but you use it to keep track of all those braces. Ah, right, okay. It was the questionable meat. You use your add-ons and loving them. Oh, excellent, Adriana. That's good to know. Yes, the add-on, the new one, let me just bring it up whilst we're talking about it. Let me just bring it up here. So, add-ons, I did install it earlier. Which one was it? It should be on here somewhere. Running Ball, Rematch. Tomcat Tours, Love is in the Air. This one is the new one. I haven't checked it out yet, but apparently it's really good for tracking your number of attempts for the Love Rocket. I've never ever tried it myself, so I've got no idea, about whether I have gotten it or not. Well, I know I haven't gotten it, but no idea how much effort it takes. I know a lot of people have been trying it for years and years and years, so it's going to be very interesting to see. If I ever bother trying for it, what kind of stream of luck I might get. But let's go back to the Wowhead blog. So we're talking about the 250 million gold, which does equate to 50 Brutosaur mounts, which is absolutely amazing. Can you imagine having 50 of those? But maybe think about, say, buying every one for your members of your guild. That would be something. Tritoa97, thank you very much for using your Prime. Thank you for your support. 0 out of 102 so far this year, WebGirl. Wow, that is a lot of attempts. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd have the stomach for trying it. But props to all of those who have tried it and have gotten it, certainly. It's the rarest mount in game. Not only does it, due to its drop rate, but also the limited time you're able to try and get it. Yeah, so just basically once a year, isn't it? Any Future has over 2,000 attempts. Wow, that is amazing. I know it's a tough one, but that is definitely. I can't imagine just trying 2,000 times for something like that. Appreciate all your YouTube videos. This is the only thing you can afford to give back to you. Well, it's incredibly kind of you. Just being here is support enough. So thank you also for using your Prime. It really is appreciated. You made the decision to keep on your break from WoW till Shadowlands. Still love watching Goalmaker. So, oh, well, thank you for stopping by still, Will. It's very kind of you to still be here, despite moving on to other things. I know a lot of people will probably be taking a break at this point, up until Shadowlands releases. Me, personally, I've got so much I still need to do with Professions that I'm going to be here for its entirety. I have no plans of taking a break just yet. Probably around the same amount if you count all your previous years. Wow, yeah, 2,000 is a lot of attempts. Well, hopefully the random number luck will be better for you this time round. Fingers crossed. So yeah, this amount of debt is absolutely amazing. That's $33,000 in actual, if you convert that to American token prices. So that's quite amazing that a guild will go through this level of debt just to get the edge. But that is what is required to get World First. These are the top sort of 1% raiders in the whole of World of Warcraft. It's a very, very specialist kind of mindset and a specialist job almost. So I can see why people would go to these lengths. How they can recoup that, I'm sure it probably wouldn't take too long. I mean, given the number of viewers there were on the Race for World First over the last week, and the number of people who support, you know, all the guilds that are trying this, both the big ones like Method and Limit and all the others, I'm sure the sort of numbers of donations and things like that that they get will be enough to at least recoup that. I hope it is anyway. Lycan, thank you very much for your Prime. That's very kind of you. 33,000 does seem crazy, but it was awesome to watch them raid. Yes, I really liked the fact that they kept their comms open, and so you could just listen to their thought processes as they went through things. That was really quite insightful for someone like myself who never raids and has barely stepped foot in a single BFA raid, not even on a LFG. Or LFR, sorry. So it's quite an eye opener just to see how people communicate with things like that. It's really nice. They sell mythic raid boosts for the mount and equips for many millions. Yeah, I'm sure if you're at that level and you can carry people through, people will be willing to pay for it, certainly. Thanks for all you've got making content. Honestly, always want me to create more and more. By far the best contribution to this space in the WoW community. Oh, that's very, very kind of you. Like him to say so. I do plan on trying to do more. I know I haven't done a great deal this year coming, but I want to get some more YouTube videos out certainly, and focus on trying to get all the professions before Shadowlands comes out, and make sure I've got videos on all of those so that we're starting in a really strong position for when Shadowlands releases. You've inspired you to get the longbow before it's removed. Oh, fantastic! Well, I wish you all the luck on that one. I hope it works out for you. And if you do have any questions, please do ask them in chat. They only need 330 boosts. They probably boost money only like Method does. Baby, is it BB or Beeb? I assume it'll be BB4422. Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. These are true hardcore raiders. Most everyone else reads, watches raiding guides. People don't know what kind of fun they're missing out on by not trying to figure out the raid themselves and accept wiping. Yeah, it's trying to work it all out, isn't it? It's that process of okay, what have we got here? What do we need to do? And going through that. I remember I used to do a few raids back when I used to play EverQuest. And that was, you know, they were brutal. They were difficult. I remember even way back in Classic and doing the dungeon with, is it General Dracusath? Was that a dungeon or a raid? I can't remember. But I definitely remember standing there with everyone, and we're all working out how to beat this and where everyone had to be and things like that. That was a long time ago, obviously. Lower Blackrock Spire, yeah, that was it. You're at about 500,000, but have a lot of crafts going well. You've answered so many questions via my YouTube channel also. Highlighting that Reddit thread last week was critical in helping you. Yes, that was a really good one. Props to the original poster on that one, definitely. Drizzling Rose, good evening to you. And Nebel Sundero, good evening to you. Been beta testing for all the other cutting edge guilds. Basically, yes, they're working it all out. They get to do the raids raw as they are. So it's very nice to see them working through it, and then Blizzard obviously do their fixes and tweaks as time goes on and fine-tune it for the masses. And speaking of Drizzling Rose, actually, let me just pop down and promote her tweet that she put out earlier, talking about the favourites list has been fixed, which is absolutely amazing. Nice to see the development of the auction house is still working on the fixes, so having the favourites list working is obviously a very good thing. There we go. And I missed something earlier as well. Someone else who played EverQuest. Yes, definitely, Emworthy. That was what got me into MMOs many years ago, back in, what was it, about 2002, I think, roughly. I'm trying to think when I really got into it. About 2001, 2002. Was it 2003? I can't remember exactly. It wasn't right at the very beginning of EverQuest. It was around when there was at least a few expansions in. Shadows of Lucklin, I think, was the expansion that was coming out at the time. Anyone noticed a much bigger mailbox since the new auction house? Shame about the slow cancelling. It's got hits and misses, really. The cancelling is slow because you have to confirm each one as it goes through, and it's a lot quicker. It used to be a lot quicker before, but I'm really loving the mailbox size and the refresh rate on it. My mailboxes have been quite good and quite big in size because they are condensing a lot of the cells into one, which is also really useful. I just quickly skip through. Have I started leveling up Volpera? Not yet. I've only got one Horde character, so I need to get a lot of reputation before I do that one. What else did I miss out on? You played EverQuest as well, but that was ages ago. Yeah, it certainly was. Many years ago, definitely. Star Wars Galaxy got you into MMOs? Yeah, I never tried that one, but that was another Sony one, wasn't it? You have 5 monks, 30ish. Yeah, you have a lot of alts, don't you, Rose? Definitely. So yes, we had the favourites has been fixed this week, so that's really nice for the regular user to be able to start buying things more quickly and easily. So I'd like to see this getting used more and more as time goes on, definitely. Emily says, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure I also saw some sales come up in my chat box, but I don't know whether that was a TSM thing or a fix on the actual auction house itself. We'll have a look and see if that comes through, and I'll test it a little bit further. So moving on the Wowhead blog, WoW token prices has had a update, which is really nice because now it will send you an email notification when it's gone above or below a certain threshold, which is really nice. If you go into this and you can look at your price and history tracker here, and then I think if you go into I think you have to go into your actual account and set up. You have to set up an account and then go through and set a sort of a start and end alert, and that will send you an email and give you a little notification, because I see that US and EU are very close now to like 150,000 and 200,000 respectively. So that's really nice to see. If we look at this graph here from the extended history from the last year, you can see that it did have its spike here. Obviously this doesn't count the huge spike. It was over 300,000 back when Legion was finishing, but for today's prices, this is really good to see it dropping below 200,000. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here, and if there is a downward trajectory on the prices of tokens, it would be nice to snap up a few of them before everything comes through. Jason Wino Catcam, it's because Oreo isn't with us at the moment. He's upstairs in a cardboard box, so he hasn't come down to join us tonight. But when he does, I certainly will turn the camera on. And we don't have a cookie either. I think she's hiding somewhere else. I think they've holed up because of the storm, and so they found themselves a really sort of nice, comfortable place. I think Cookie is she's on my daughter's bed, curled up. You crossed 100,000 cards open this Friday, made 520,000 gold from them, and the average is down to 5 gold per card. Wow, that's amazing. 500,000 just from the cards. And because you do it whilst you're playing, that's quite a nice income that's ticking through. Definitely, Drizzling Rose. Your cat is hiding as well. Yeah, dislikes the wind roaring over the house. Yeah, I think so. Midnight, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. How have sales been for you this week? Hope you've been getting a few. We were just talking about the token prices on EU, and I was saying that it would be really nice to see it drop below 200,000, because I could really do with buying a few more myself, get some more game time, and I kind of would really like to buy the Year of the Rat mount, because I think that would look really good on Stavidan, my rogue. I've not really considered mounts before, unless it's kind of like the essential ones, but that would be one I certainly would consider getting with gold. And then moving on, I don't know if anyone spotted this, but Gumdrops and the TSM team did a really nice thing this week, and they put together a gold chest of chocolate coins and a couple of boxes of donuts, and they sent it to the developers of the auction house, Jeff Liu and the producer Bagelberry, and gave it out to the team, which I thought was a really nice thing. And there was a lovely note that Gumdrops put in with there, which was really nice to see, and that kind of showing of appreciation for all the hard work that they have been putting into this, because the auction house has remained unchanged for the last 15 years. And I remember people talking about, oh, when are Blizzard going to change the auction house? And Blizzard was saying, whenever we try to change it, something breaks. And it was very brave of them to, roll their sleeves up, get in there, and actually go through and make it what it is. And I think it's going to just get better and better as time goes on. A Volpera on the rat mount is the cutest thing ever. Yeah, I can imagine that, definitely. And you got your long boy, yes. I remember you saying Midnight. That's absolutely fantastic. Congratulations on that. And a whole load of long boy emotes for Midnight on your Brutosaur mount. Congratulations. Tried streaming, how you did, and a few people dropped by to see it. You had 8 people at one time, which is fantastic. Very helpful for self-esteem building, but it's just a hobby for you. Did help a few people out on the gold making though, so that feels good. Oh, excellent. Well, welcome to the streaming Drizzling Rose. I hope you have a lovely journey with it, because I've certainly enjoyed it myself, and it's lovely to see more and more people doing gold making streams as well. So it kind of brings more awareness of what we do to the wider world. So thank you for starting that one up. So yeah, this was absolutely amazing. And a lovely sentiment, and just goes to show how supportive and appreciative the gold making community is, and I'm totally honoured to be a part of it. So thank you all for being here, and thank you all for making this such a great community, and it's ambassadors like Gumdrops and the TSM team that make it what it is. So thank you to them for putting in all the hard work too. And yes, I did mention here as well as supporting Blizzard with this lovely thing. If you do want to support the TSM team, the best thing I can suggest is sign up as a premium member, and then that will give them a little bit of extra income to help them continue developing the add-on. Most of us are nice. You especially, most of all, Rashid. Wow, Arnoto coming in with a party of 29. Thank you very much. How are you? How was your stream? I hope it was good. Welcome everyone from Arnoto's stream. What did you get up to today? Did you do some gold making? Hopefully you did. How's things over the other side of the pond? Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome aboard everyone. We need to send you a crate of Oreo cookies and a Brutosaur food. That would be fantastic, Darkwing. Definitely. Thank you all for the emotes. That is absolutely amazing. It was great. We just leveled up Kata and vanilla mining. Well, good professions to develop, certainly. So that's cool. I'd like to. I think someone else was asking me on YouTube about sort of like spreading across several professions, and then talking about the depth. So once you've gone wide with a load of professions, going deep across several expansions is a really good way of just completely sort of expanding into a market and exploring every niche of it. Let me just make sure I've not gone AFK. I'll swap back then. Found up some arcane crystals because they were expensive. Excellent. Those are always tricky ones to get, aren't they? Especially when people aren't getting them. So, what's the listing fees now for things like arcane crystals? Are they all reasonable at the moment? I am the Law. Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Go through so many arcane crystals every week. Are you really? What do you use them for specifically, Rasheen? All listing fees are reasonable now. Well, that's good to know. Excellent. Oh, those are for the Arcanite bars, which then can be used in... now, I did have this with El Morte. He went through and did a few of these, and you go through the transmutes for those, don't you? Which is useful for some of the old world blacksmithing recipes, which I haven't done blacksmithing yet. I would really like to do some more. Most profitable item at the moment is Enchanted Elementium bars. You sell them on average for 40,000 each, but also need them for the Sulfuron hammer sales. For the legendaries, right? Okay, and I guess with the fact that the legendaries now can be transmogged, they're going to be in higher demand as well. I can see that feeding through into it, definitely. I could really use gold on that realm because I just started on it, and because we just started on it and have no good flying. No flying at all. But surely isn't the flying account wise, or is there more to that tale? And Tootsie, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, you have the 58 flying. Okay. Which is slow. Ah, right, I see. Good evening, Marsper. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Way to go. Get all the recipes on all the professions, then get multiples of professions like alchemy and engineering for the proc chances. Yeah, definitely. Ah, because you still have to buy the 70 and 80 flying, lol. Okay, I'm with you now, Arnato. Yes, that makes sense. So just to finish up the Wowhead blog, there's a couple of videos that have come out this week that I wanted to highlight, talking about classic gold making methods. The first one was from Mad Season, going through some slightly more unorthodox gold making methods, which was really interesting to watch. And then if you want some sort of the more regular one, Breg's done another video on 5 easy ways to make gold in classic. So a couple of really nice YouTube videos there to check out and finish up the blog itself. Gindy, thank you very much for resubbing. 2 months in a row, thank you very much using your Prime. Good evening all. Favourite weekend stream. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Let's see, lots of emotes for you, and thank you ever so much for your support. Really, really is appreciated. So thank you all. Best way to make gold in classic is the OG, the original gold making method. Dance naked on a mailbox. Yes, Persephone, that is always the. Depending on the server you're on, definitely. That is definitely one way. You say 40,000 each for enchanted bars. They can be slow sellers, but I believe they do sell. I did try some on El Morte. I'll have to check that out because I haven't tried selling them since. Maybe I should go and check through my group and have a look at that when we get to it. But that's me wrapping up pretty much the Wowhead blog for tonight. If you do have any comments, please do share them on the blog itself. Or if you have any questions, please do ask me here on the stream, or contact me through Twitter or YouTube or my Discord. Any of the channels would be good. They are 40k on yours because you took care of stuff before the patch. Yeah, basically. So let me close this down. And what we'll do next is we'll go through my mailboxes. I'll need to restock on a few things, I think, from what I can remember. I was on earlier today and I relisted everything on, so we should have a reasonable amount of sales in there. I can see you've got a couple of people here waiting, using the auction house, I assume, at the moment. And let me just say, when you finished, and head to mailbox. There we go. We might as well stay here for the moment. Catitude, how are my pets? They are doing okay. I did hear someone just eating earlier, so I think one of them's come down to have a little bit of food. They're currently holed up whilst the wind is howling overhead. Borrowed gold from a friend on Classic so you could get the epic mount. Been getting nice gains to pay back. Feels good. Yeah, definitely. I think once you've gotten the mount in Classic, then you can at least sort of leverage that to go out and farm some things, certainly. Dismounting in 1098 macro, that would be quite handy actually, Darkwing. I'll do that in a moment if everyone's still here. I'll get you a top hat and a cane so you look like a Monopoly guy. Yeah, definitely. They're around 10k on your server. So you can sell your own shoes and make 1 million from it. Yeah, most definitely. Regime does know how to make good use of markets, certainly. You've made 2 million since the patch dropped. Half of it's been the Greater Flask. Well, that's fantastic, Vikram. That's really nice. And want to buy Longboy. Thank you very much for the follow. Love the name. That's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to walk slowly over to the mailbox. So I'll just heading to mail box. Now what's the, I can't remember the keyboard shortcut I've set up for walking instead. So I'll just go slowly over this way so I can stand here and open my mail. That way people can at least still get access to everything. There we go. We got that one. I'm 100k from 3 million total, almost to the long point. Fantastic. Once you've gone over that sort of like halfway marks, that's definitely a good milestone, certainly. You made 1 million since the start of February, your first million. Oh, even better, Niven, because that first million, I remember getting that, and that was a very big milestone, because once you've got that million, it just makes the whole lot more achievable. You sadly buy 200,000 with Zenithid at a time, because farming is far too slow. Yes, exactly. Oh, we do have an Oreo here, talking of the cats. Oreo has come to join me. Hold on, let me find his camera. There we go, we have an Oreo. He's come to sit next to me. He must have come out of his cardboard box. So he's come to join us. Once he's settled down, he'll probably start clawing my knee. But there we go, he's come in. Whereabouts are you going to sit, Oreo? Can you come down in front of the camera? He started purring. He needs to have his own microphone, really, because he's got such a deep, lovely purr. There we go. You settle him down, and he can come in. You're back to 500,000 in your guild bank for the Brutal for your boyfriend. Going better than expected. Oh, fantastic, Twisting Rose. That's good to hear. Almost at your first 5 million, but unsure if you'll buy the mount. €325 worth of Blizzard balance for it. It is a lot, definitely. For me, it was a no-brainer, and I didn't even wait. As soon as I got the 5 million, I went straight away and I bought it. But then I had a lot of stock still saved up, so that was kind of easier. An easier decision to make for me, certainly. Let me see if I can move this a bit further out so we can see Oreo there. There we go. At least he's resting a little bit. Your first million came from buying low, selling high battle runes. Oh, it's a good strategy to start with, definitely. Met, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. You bought yours a day after BFA dropped. Yeah, I know. If you had the ready cash then, because gold was slightly easier to come by back in Legion, and so it was very. If you had that kind of gold at that time, it was definitely would have been a good time to do it, certainly. Right, so let's have a look at my mailbox for the week on Samadan. We'll go through everyone here. So this is pretty much me just relisting things. I haven't done a great deal as normal this week, but we've got a few good things here. 76,000 gold in sales, and we had what have we got here? We've got lots of food, some enchants, some more food, Mekdal's Big Mech, Masterful Navigation, Machinist Brilliance, Force Multiplier, Kultiran Herbalism there. We also, I was very kindly gifted some Netherweave bags and Frostweave bags, which I hadn't been making, but looking at these have sold really well. So I need to add these into my list of things to make. The Silkweave satchels, we did a reset on those last week, and the price hasn't remained high, unfortunately. So I have sold a few of them at a lower price, so I may not recoup all my gold on those. But made up for it certainly with these Frostweave bags doing very well. So I need to change my, add these into a crafting operation so that I'm making some Frostweave bags and maybe a few Netherweave bags as well. Even though they're only 26 gold here and they take a long time to make, you can kind of AFK make them. So they'll definitely be worth making because I have had some good sales there, certainly. Since watching my stream, you downloaded and used TSM, helped so much with the auction house, and you just hit the halfway mark to 5 million, so thank you for your streams. Well, congratulations, Kaelin, that's really cool. Congratulations. Yeah, 356 gold on a Frostweave bag. I would say that's a pretty good price. Let me have a look at this in a bit more detail. So I'll open up all this mail, 76,000. There's definitely a market here that I haven't actually tapped into. I didn't really consider some of these lower bags, but at that price they're certainly worth considering. I know the Silkweave satchels are a bit hit and miss, but we'll have a look here and look at my groups and see if I can do something about that. So let's go here and look at my groups. So we'll go into tailoring. So we have my bags section here. So we have the Hexweave bag one, Hydral bag, Silkweave satchel times 8. So we do have Frostweave bag I put in here. So let's make another group here. Frostweave bag. And we'll maybe try and sell 8 of these at a time. And then we'll get the Frostweave bag and add those into that group. And then we'll go and make another one, and we'll call this Netherweave bags. Could probably do with tidying these up a little bit, like order them in terms of like their capacity. Netherweave bag. So what is a Netherweave bag? That's a 16 slot bag. So let me just adjust these. So I'm going to call this one 16 Netherweave bag. Deep sea bag is a that's a 30 slot, isn't it? So we'll add that in and we'll edit this. We'll make this a little bit neater. Then the Frostweave bags are, what are they, 20 slot? So we'll go in there and we'll name this 20 Frostweave bags. Hexweaves we know are 30, so we can add those in at 30. And then the Hydral Expedition bag, this is kind of a bit more specialist. There's the 36 slot herb bag. So I'm going to call this 36 herb Hydral bag, and the Silkweave satchels, which are 24 slot bags. So this will just be a nice easy way for me to look at them in order in my bag section, something like that. What did I miss there? Deep sea bags on Dalaran are 200 or less. Wow, that is really, really cheap, definitely. You bought 36,000 subjects fur yesterday to make it into bags. And you made 45k in bags. Yeah, the Hexweave bags are still selling well, definitely. At this speed, you should be done with your cancel scan by the time the stream ends. Yeah, I find I don't tend to bother with cancel scans these days, simply because A, it's slow, and B, I just kind of because of the new system of last in, first out. Sometimes I feel like it's better just to post little and often, depending on your server and its frequently, definitely. Yeah, luckily only 600 for you. Wow, okay. Dalaran is super competitive, to be fair. Oh, right, okay. So that would make sense. So we've got these in Silkweave Satchel, Netherweave Bag. So let's go into my group operations here. And I'm going to make four Netherweave bags and 8 Frostweave bags. We're going to add these into our list. Do we have an 8? Yes, we do. There we are. And these are all just going to be my regular sell bags operation. We'll see how we get on with those. So now when we go in and have a look at this, Kaidar, thank you very much for using your Prime. 2 months. Thank you very much for your support. Very much appreciated. Load of emotes for you. Thank you very much. So is Taramel as well. You have a problem with TSM where you're missing values such as profit, crafting costs for almost all your tailoring items. So I would look at your tailoring items and in TSM here. So if something isn't showing a profit, like say here the spell thread or something like that, that could be because it's most likely bind on equip, or if it's something that doesn't have a material, like say you haven't put a price in for Expulsum, you won't get a price for any of these. And so I've got things like enhance. Oh, these are the bind on pickup. These ones, so these don't have a profit. And sometimes when there's been a major update and something requires vendor items, TSM will forget the vendor price of things, and so it's quite difficult. Then you have to go and visit a vendor, and then the prices will come through then. LA, thank you very much for hosting me with one viewer. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. And Dad Justified, thank you for coming by. Finally caught my stream. Well, welcome aboard. Hope you're doing well on this fine evening. Well, you can assign Expulsum value. Yes, definitely. You would go into your crafting reports here, go onto materials, and then you can filter it by keyword. So you type in EXP, and then you've got a price for Expulsum here. My map price is currently at 71 gold. This is because I use my Bracer Super Shuffle, which is a really long string based on the price of my tie spray bracers, and the whole of this is related to the whole shuffle spreadsheet. If you don't know that one, that is there. There's a link to that, and then I've got a whole load of YouTube videos all about that. So if you follow my YouTube channel as well, you'll find a whole load of stuff there. There's some playlists going through the Super Shuffle there. And Arini, thank you very much for using your Prime. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you're doing well. Let's put a whole load of emotes for you. Thank you very much. Really is appreciated. Thank you all. You've been really kind this evening. It's been lovely to see you all here. You started using TSM for cancel items, reposting the TSM window. You only have to click cancel and it selects the next item in your auctions list. Much faster than the base UI. Is it really, Drizzling Rose? Even with the kind of like the combinations, not combinations, the having to confirm it each time. And the deep sea bag on your server is only 98 gold. Wow, that is really cheap. I missed another big one there by Metcat. Interested in farming chance of the event, queuing Royal Atenum in Dalaran Legion. A sufficient way to farm those. You can get 60 to 70 in 5 minutes, killing the boss in the middle and killing the side minions. Okay, thank you for that, Metcat. Well, your favourites list just got wiped out for no reason, so I guess it isn't fixed. Oh really, Coffee Cat? Interesting. I wonder if there are still some bugs that they haven't fixed then. I don't use it myself, so I can't really sort of... Actually, I did have it earlier. Let me just check. I did test it. Yeah, I've still got my tie spray linen. I set that up earlier as a test, and it's still there on here as one of my favourites. So it does currently work for me, but yeah, I'm sure there may be a few bugs and stuff like that. Just this second, it's all gone. Interesting. With base UI, you have to click the item, then click cancel, then click confirm. On TSM, you only have to mark the top item, and then click cancel with 1 second delay on each. So it's much faster. Yes, and then using the scroll wheel macro as well would be another way of making that much faster as well, Drizzling Rose. So if you can go onto your auctions here and say I ran a cancel scan on everything, that's probably a bit overkill, but if we did it like this, we'll let that run through and we'll see what happens there. I could probably just stop it at that point actually and cancel these 1 out of 28. So now using the scroll wheel macro, I literally hold control down and wiggle my mouse up and down, and it'll go through and cancel, confirm, go through all of those. It's not as fast as it used to be. It used to be much faster than this, but obviously with the confirmation every time, TSM has to go through and make sure that everything is done, and using the scroll wheel just makes that a lot easier. And then I can pick those cancels up and relist them on at a higher price or undercut whoever's on there. Looks like we're missing Oreo at the moment. Hold on. There we go. Now he's at least in sight as well. Yeah. If we short ups like this with each other, exactly. Don't know how to do that. Just manually check if you've been undercut. Yes, it's basically I just do a cancel scan and TSM will automatically go through and cancel anything that has been undercut. Make a full screen on Oreo. Yep, we have the button for it. Full screen Oreo. There he is. Camera's just about focused on him. He's doing alright, aren't you, Oreo? He's got his little paws tucked underneath. So he's just chilling out next to me at the moment. There we go. Nice sleepy Oreo. It's as fast as this in the morning or late at night for cancelling posting auctions. Yes, I mean if you get it at busy times and you're in somewhere like Borealis, then it definitely can get a lot slower than that. It all depends on your server as well. So I better post those on whilst I cancelled those, whilst I remember. I'll just run a post scan on that. Thank you for showing us you can prioritise work and family while still playing the way you want now and then. Hope you're well. I'm doing very well, thank you very much, Kaida. Yes, that's my aim really. Is we all. I think that's a lot of wind coming out outside. Just have to keep an eye on things there. Yeah, we all have busy lives, and so whilst I could go full steam, and if I was, say, a full-time gold maker, I could say, oh yeah, I'm making this, that, and the other. But I wonder how realistic that is for sort of like the everyday player. Whereas at least this I'm doing what was obviously fun to me, and hopefully fun to everyone else as well. Oh, it's a LFR one, isn't it? Okay. Let's have a look. Would we use that in the group finder? No, I love the all dear. No, that's all the. Can you not look at any older ones? Is it because I'm maximum level? Is that all I can do? That's interesting. I never actually looked at that for myself. I found the cancel scan button. Just says item group is invalid. See chat. Okay, so that would be maybe because you haven't set the group up. So the cancel scans may not work for that. It could be that the chat box will tell you on the side whether it's one price could be set incorrectly and it's hiding the other. That's the min-max normal prices, something like that. Using the operations definitely. Sounds like Nighthole to you. Oh, okay. You're just getting used to Auctionator before, and but it doesn't work. So you've been using the base since 8.3. Yeah, use exactly whatever works for you. And the good thing about TSM is you don't have to do it all at once. You can slowly work your way through and learn about things as you go through. When I started using TSM, I didn't know how to really do much at all. And I literally just made one group and worked out how to do it with one group. And even then, I'd be obviously, typical goal maker, I made a spreadsheet first, and I would track all my prices of Legion Enchants that way, and then cross-reference it with what I was trying to do on TSM. And I just did it all manually just until I worked out how it worked. You don't know how to use TSM either, it always gives you errors. When you're starting out, what tip can you offer for beginners? Exactly that, Tirith, as I was just saying, you know, start small, just work on something and just trying to get your head around how it works. Something like TSM can be very overwhelming to start off with, so I literally just made one group and put one item in it and just worked out how I could post something and then go through it that method. TSM wants you to do math, and math costs you gold. It does help to have a kind of a slightly analytical or mathematical brain, but I don't think it's anything too complicated really. If I can do it, I think certainly most people can. Can you show me how to assign the expulsion price? Yes, so basically you do that going into any of your professions in the TSM window. You click on crafting reports, click on materials, find your expulsum, just type in EXP, and then you click it in here. Now this string is the big massive long string that I use on the Bracer Super Shuffle, but I won't use that one. Say we use something, the normal way is like, say you've got, this is like a standard, the default one that comes with TSM. It's the minimum between average buy, DB market, crafting, vendor buy, convert, DB market. To each of those means either average buy, the market price, the crafting cost, the vendor buy price, or what the material converts from and what its price is there. Or you could just take all of that out and you could call it something like 10 gold, like that. And now my Abyssal Gulput Heel Flesh has a mat price of 10 gold. And when you look at it in your TSM crafting there, the mat cost on the tooltip tells me 10 gold. But obviously that's not going to be correct for me, so I'm going to go back to the default there and just paste that in. And then if I do a refresh on that, if I bring it back up and we have a look under materials, now it's back at 1 silver. I hope that makes sense. What else did I miss? When you have to do math, you just ask your Google Home to calculate it for you. It's very helpful with gold making. That's really cool. I hadn't thought of it like that. You heard it from Clip, heard it from YouTube. What was that for? That costs you gold. Oh, right, okay. It's your clip too now, because you clipped it. That you actually learned from YouTube. I see. Doppelbock, have I started dabbling in the flipping raid BOEs this patch? Been very interesting with all the variables, high level, corruption and procs. Yes, and we were talking about that with all the debt that Complexity Limit got into. I haven't tried it myself, no. I've been focusing on professions. I don't think I'm really in a position to get hold of many BOEs. Well, certainly not directly myself, but flipping them would be an interesting thing. I haven't really looked into it myself at this point, because I don't think Shadowsong's a big massive raiding server, so I don't know how much demand there is for it on my server, but I may be proven wrong. It's not a market I've actually really focused on. Jack the Dipper, how are you? Thanks for stopping by, hope you're doing well. Just got your Bruce Saw yesterday and went from 10k to 5 million in 43 days. Oh, that's absolutely amazing, Talric. Congratulations. Fantastic news. Here's a whole lot of Longboy emotes for you. Congratulations. You sold one BOE you got for 110,000. Very nice indeed, definitely. Want to buy Longboy cracks you up every time. Yeah, you need to get one every month, Rasheen. I don't know how he's... Reckles is getting on with his monthly gold Longboy challenge. I know it was difficult, just getting everything set up. It does take quite a while, certainly. Can you promise me a Longboy this month? Yulongbai, you got yours the other week, did you? Excellent. Congratulations, Derpalicious. Let's see a whole lot of emotes for you as well. Longboy ones, that is. Congratulations. You went kind of big this morning. Maddened Adherence Shield for 150k. Posted for 645. Fingers crossed. Well, hopefully it comes through, definitely. Spent 22 million on himself, so he didn't have enough gold for January, but promised a video to make up for it. Right, okay, so it's still ongoing. I mean, it's quite an ask to get 5 million every single month. I think it's an amazing target to go for, certainly. That's what happens when you spend all your gold on boosts, making 30 vials on each server. Yeah, I think that was the thing. There's a lot of groundwork being done underneath in order to be able to get that kind of gold, certainly. So, what was I doing before I started this? I was looking at... oh yes, we were looking at my Frostweed bags, weren't we? I've completely gone off the rails on this one. Let me just have a quick look at that. Let's have a look here. So going to crafting, we'll clear the queue on this. I need to just check my group, make sure that was all set up. So we're going to our groups onto tailoring. So netherweave bags we were going to make 4. Frostweave bags we're going to make 8. I might actually take this silkweave satchel one down a little bit and change that to 4. Because those are a tricky thing to make at the moment. And I'll keep just the same cell bags for those. And then deep sea bags. I don't actually have a crafting operation for these. Maybe I should make a few deep sea bags as well as hexweave bags. The ones I really need to be doing is the embroidered deep sea bags, but I don't do dungeons. So that's always a tricky one for me. These ones, because I don't really have hydrocore, that's my main issue here. I don't have an easy way of getting it, so I can't make those so easily. One of your very best friends, but boy needs to listen to you more. In just the time he spent farming the Var recipe, he could have farmed the raw materials for a Longboy. Well, that's a good point, Persephone, definitely. I know if you follow Kuhn, he's been doing amazingly well on gaining his, and he's limiting himself to 3 hours, no, 2 hours, is it 2 or 3 hours, I can't remember, 2 or 3 hours a day, I think it's 3 hours a day. And that's on one character. When you've got a good multi-box set up like Reckles has, then being able to do that with multiple characters is definitely a way forward. What else did I miss? Of course, you're everywhere right now, also on your laptop. See you tonight. Senpai Stark, Kuhn does, he does 2 hours a day now. Okay, that will go longer if he misses a day, or cuts a day short. Okay, thank you, Senpai. How do you get TSM Destroyed to only show you greens to disenchant at less than 1,000 gold and a region sale rate of 0.01? Your character that posts greens is overrun. Now, that could be an interesting one. So, I'm not sure how you could do a filter on something like that, because having both of them. Now, let me think. Yeah, that's a good idea, Rasheen. A custom price, and add it in the destroy settings. Let me work out how we do that. I know I'm going off on one here, but it's an interesting question. I can't move my things around here. Let me just, I want to move, Tomcat would like to chat. Hi, I hope not including, just want to say thanks for using your add-ons. No problem. There we go, Tomcat. We'll need to get to your add-on as well, Tomcat, and have a look at that as well. Let's go through here. So we're going through, and there's the worth it add-on. I've got so many things here. I need to get that extra thing that makes everything a little box. So let's just go through here onto TSM. You've got one, have you, Darkwing? Okay. Only show items with above a custom price. Yeah, I've not really looked into this one. Let me have a look. Settings destroying. So only show items with a disenchant value above the custom price. So what would be the custom price here? A low estimate of 10,000 an hour with gather materials on 8 accounts would need 63 hours of farming. Divided by 12 weeks, that's 5 hours of 8 boxing a week. That's really not a lot, is it? When you put the mass in like that, Persephone, it's definitely not a lot. Interesting. But I guess the aim is, what I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know for sure, but once you've got it set up, then surely once you've done the work, then it'll be easier in the long run. Maybe. That would be my thought process on it, certainly. But without the Mad here himself to talk to, it would be disingenuous for me to presume and know otherwise. So here's an example. There we go. Thank you, Rasheen, for the help in that one. It is to destroy custom settings. Ah, fantastic. Thank you for that, Rasheen. That's most useful. I'll carry on with my tailoring then in that case, as that one has been answered. But it's an interesting thing, I haven't actually used that myself. Maybe I need to look into that a little bit further. So, getting back to where I was supposed to be restocking here. And so let's go through, check. We have had a few sales here, and there's been nothing popping up in the chat. Oh, Oreo's just looking down at me, looking so cute. It looks like that's not coming through, although that was just recently as well. So we've not had anything coming through on the chat just yet. So let's have a look, and I have got one sale there come through. We'll leave that at the moment, because what we do need to do is just do a restock on everything. So go to my groups and restock on everything. We've got lots of stuff here. So lots of enchants to make, a little bit of food to make, and the bags aren't in here yet. That's interesting. Let me have a look. Oreo looks like he's going to roll towards me now. He's looking for some more affection, I think. The only thing that shows up in chat is the uncanny gear for you. Oh, right, okay. Looking to new bag sales, check out the otherworldly bag. You found they sell quite well. Oh, okay. I think I had one in my list there. Let me go have a look. We'll add that into the list, and then we'll work out why those weren't coming through. Maybe it's because I got too many of them. I do have some here still. I do have the otherworldly bag here. Now, what group is that actually assigned to? That is just in the regular bags one. So the otherworldly bag is a 36 slot enchanting bag, isn't it? So let's out Oreo. That's my knee and my jeans. He does like to need my jeans. So let's try 36. Otherworldly out. Bag. Out. There we go. Sorry, I just got Oreo needing my knee at the moment. And we'll add that one in. I'll get that one in. This TSM group is so simple. Or did I miss one there? It's like you're logged in. Wait, no. Number 3 logged out. Okay, that's fixed. And number 7 disconnected. Oh, right. Is that... that was for... It's logging in. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I see what you mean, yeah. Took 5 tunes to Silithus and found thorium, arcane crystals. And I've got 200,000 in mats. 700 gold and arcane crystal. That's very nice. Persephone, definitely. To add 3 tunes to that, and anyone can make a lot of gold. Yes, definitely.
Heavy mining was pretty high value with patch on many realms with Zinanthid and Osmanite. Oh yeah, that's definitely worth thinking about, certainly. Right, so this we want group operation. We're going to make one of these and call that sell bags as well. So we'll add that into the list as well. So we've just added in a few things here onto my bags. Now, Frostweave bags, I wanted to just check these. So currently min buyout is 349 gold. Crafting cost to me is 83 gold. I have 2 on the auction house, and that should mean that I should make 8 of each of these. Maybe I'll just do a quick reload. Yeah, serves you right, Ori, for sticking your paws in my jeans. He's got his claws stuck, unfortunately. There we go. So, how is the new auction system working out? Is it more easy or harder to sell now? I would say it's definitely good for the general person, Jack, definitely. The things you used to do with all the stack sizes and pretty stacking is no longer a thing, unfortunately. But I would say the throughput of the auction house is definitely better. So I would say it's in a good position, certainly. On your silver's thumbing value during the time you boosted Arcanite bars to 9k each. Should have made a video. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Prices dropping less? Not necessarily. I think they're still quite robust in certain areas and certain markets. I've got loads of bobbles in my jeans now that Oreo's just clawed his way through. I'll just stretch my legs out instead for the moment. So let me have a look and look at my auctions here, and then go back to my tailoring. Let's clear the queue, and we'll go through and restock on these. So I should expect at least 2 Frostweave bags to come in here. So let me just check why this wouldn't be working. So we'll go into my TSM and go into my group and go into my Frostweave bags. So I should be making 8 according to that, 8 of each, crafting operation. Right, the minimum is minimum profit is 120% crafting or 400 gold, whichever is the smaller of those two. So 20% crafting should be within the threshold of what was it, 83 gold plus a little bit extra. So I would think that would definitely be a reason why it should go. Let me just check and have a look at Frostweave bag. So currently telling me a profit of 216, and currently telling me I have 2 in my inventory, 2 on the auction house. I've sold 10, so there would be a reason why this isn't coming through. If I can work out, you won't be disappointed. So if you saving for something and have the time to invest materials, time to invest materials is your best bet. I'd say that's very sound advice, Persephone, and as exemplified by Kuhn on his streams and how he's doing it, certainly. Just farming the materials and getting them up, and then selling them on the auction house. Okay, now Oreo's filled the screen with fur. So there's a reason why this isn't coming through in my crafting here. I would expect to see some Frostweave bags here. TSM's telling me it's a profit. I would expect me to make at least a few more of these. Let me just adjust that group and see if there's something I can do to change it. So let's go into my groups, go into Frostweave bag, go into my crafting operation. Look at the price of Frostweave cloth instead. Well, that was my thought. I mean, looking at the Frostweave bag, the TSM crafting information there does tell me Bolt of Imbued Frostweave is 77 gold, according to that. So, from my calculations, TSM crafting is telling me it's going to be 83 gold, which is definitely worth it in my opinion, I would have thought. Let's just turn this off for the moment. We're not overriding the default crafting method. So we've got this on still selling post 8.2 and frosty bags and packs. So let's just change that, and then let's try that again. So we'll go here and go into, nope, wrong button. Go into that and clear the queue. Groups. Let's just try tailoring on its own. Oh, that's why. I just remembered. Because I've just added these groups in, they weren't selected. And because these were all minimized, I didn't spot that. There we go, that's it. That's the answer. So, here we go. It's easy to spot the silly mistakes sometimes. So let's go back and change that. So we'll turn on the minimum profit again. No, wrong group again. Let's go here, go onto groups, go onto frosty bags, change that, 8 of each. We'll go onto that, put the minimum profit on again. Now that one's missing, so we'll need to just copy and paste it from a previous one. And we'll go here, and we'll copy and paste that in there. And then that one's in there. So now, when I go to my tailoring, and I go to restock, we'll make sure we click this and select all groups, and then restock selected groups, and now we see 6 frosty bags in there, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, simple solution. There we go. You're farming 10 to 20k a day solo on a priest on a full pop server, roughly 45 minutes for a while. Then you decided Alliance was icky and you stopped. Fair enough, Persephone. I do like Alliance Priests, I must say. I have been one for the last 15 years. So let's go through and gather all of this lot and get ourselves on the road here. So we need some now we need some chaos crystals. That would be interesting. We could, I have got the mission from earlier. If we check the Legion Order Hall, Elite Strike Centenax, we need to pick up the nether shards from that, which we can then turn into chaos crystals. Let's see what price they are on the auction house though. So what does our task list tell us? We need to make some hexweave cloth. Then we need to ignore those. Get some stuff from the guild bank, some stuff from the vendor. Let's run over this way, see what we can restock on, and then get all this working. So move from Guild Vault up from here. Arcana Rune Thread, Bolt of Frostweaves. There we go. And then we need to go onto a vendor, and we can get that done. We still need some. What else do we need? Some stuff from the auction house. We'll see what price the things are here. We'll buy those. We have a few tailoring crafts to do. Some stuff on the auction house. We'll have a look at that and scan for those. So let's look at the price of chaos crystals at the moment. Currently sitting at 30 gold. Why are you getting internal auction error, and what can you do to fix it? I believe it's an issue with Blizzard on Blizzard's side at the moment, Marsper. There is a whole thread on it in the WoW Economy Discord if you go there. I think TSM has got a workaround for it at the moment where they'll try and repost it on. But the best thing you can do really to fix it is literally just exit out of the auction house and then load it back up and try posting again. It's not ideal, but that's kind of like the best way at the moment. What you do is essentially resource farming. You're using your gold a day goal as a reason to log her and work on allied race. Then it was like, you don't need Dark Iron and Colterian that bad. That's fair enough, definitely. Make sure you don't have operations that are still posting in former stack sizes. And if you don't have those, go to another auctioneer. As if if you're installing Try Ironforge. There we go. Privet, Parter, thank you very much for redeeming the the message there. That's absolutely fantastic. And using the Kuhn Sam is really nice. How are you? Hope you're doing well. 445 per veil. That is definitely insane. Maybe I should try and sell some at that price. I mean, my mat cost is coming in at 81 gold here. I do have, how many do I have on me at the moment? I have 65 in my bags. I do need a few, certainly. Good night, Basic. Thank you for stopping by. Post the internet auction error. Time, character and server with the TSM debug, and in the WoW Discord. There was WoW employees checking them. Oh, fantastic, Darkwing. Yeah, I know that was still happening on that particular thread, wasn't it? I didn't know if they were still doing that now. Search for cheap epics and then disenchant. For the veiled crystals, it would be an interesting one to see whether there's anything like honourable combatants or sinister or even notorious that is available. I mean, I do have, if I was to go on here, I do have one of my favourite searches is the armour epic. So /120/120 armour epic, which we had before. Looking at the prices of these, well, wow, there's 313 pages of this. This might be a little bit too much. We might be better off just looking for, if we stop this one, this will take a long while to go through. If we look for, there's a lot more armour on than there used to be. Honourable, say, for instance, 43 pages of those. Dr. Grimm, good evening to you. How's things? Things are going very well, thank you very much. How about yourself? Purge your pearls if you hadn't already. The mana pearls. I don't think I have many of them myself at the moment, but that would be a good idea, certainly. I could do that. You made 1 million gold today, so please. Oh, congratulations, that's fantastic. For some reason, you cannot connect certain groups to certain operations. Here's an example. You go to a crafting operation making 20 pieces with at least 10% crafting profit. You're able to connect that operation to a group containing BFA enchants, accords, unable to connect to a group containing BFA deep sea bags. Interesting. Oh, I also completely missed, just looking at that further up, GJ Robo, I'm so sorry, I missed your Prime sub there. Thank you very much. I don't know why that wouldn't work for one and another. If the crafting operation or certain groups and certain operations should tie up to each other. Because I use that quite often. I use different crafting operations. Right, all of these are looking like they're fairly expensive. Let's say we took a look at Notorious. That would be another option. Have a look at this. Drop in TSM Discord with that one. Yes, thank you, Darkwing. Check the box above to override parent group operation. Or better listen to Racine. Well, there we go. There's one that's at 500 gold. But there's not a lot here, I don't think, from looking at the price of these. Oh, no, there is one there. A Notorious Combatant Saturn Bracer for 200 gold. Obviously, the thing here, though, looking at this, is even though the Veiled Crystal price is that high, it has been quite a bit lower than that. Because if we get a proc with this one as well, that would be quite interesting. So we'll buy that one. 200 gold is really cheap, though. Is there more than one of them? There's quite a few of them. Okay, we'll buy all of those up. And we'll make Veiled Crystals out of these. I mean, normally I'm looking at 80 gold as my Veiled Crystal price. But we'll take this at, yeah, in theory, Jack, definitely. But if we were to take that, buy those, and we'll pick up, how many do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we bought 10 of those. and then we go and disenchant those. And not all of those are in there, probably because I will have them on a ignore list somewhere. So let me just check that and go into my destroying list, and let's take some of these out because Notorious doesn't need to be in there now. There we go. And then we go into, oh no, that's still there. Let's try that again. Do a reload. Come back into that one. I see people, no need to farm. You can find free gold on the auction house. Exactly, as Jack says, this is you know, core gold making principles here. So they've come through now. So we've got 10 of these. So let's see how many veiled crystals we get of these. We also get Umbra shards as well, because we've got Uyn's enchanting rod. So we've got 4 veiled crystals already. That's 5, not counting the Umbra shards. 6, 7. Let's just reopen that again. 8. Oops, there we go. 9, 10, and is the last one going to be an extra veil crystal? No, so we've got 11 veil crystals out of that. So if we were then to go onto the auction house, now normally I would use these veil crystals and turn them into something else, but for the purposes of the principle of the thing and selling the materials at that price, we'll just have a look at this, and we'll go in and look at my veiled crystals, which are here. I've got 76 of them. So if we wanted to sell some veiled crystals using the standard auction house, here we have 3 sellers at 445. I'm going to just sell the 11 we've just made at that price. Deposit is 2 silver, and we'll create the auction there using the standard interface. So that would be a method of turning what we just looked for into something else. A woman at work for 5k, not bad. We still have to sell them, exactly, but you definitely make some profit, I would say so. And we've got some Umbra shards as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 Umbra shards as well. So if we were to go full on that as well, let's take those Umbra shards and try and sell those. We've got loads of these, so we don't want to sell 200. We want to sell 10 at 56 gold each, so they're quite a bit less. Now my normal match price at the moment for Umbra shards is coming in at 30 gold, so we'll try and sell those. Let's try that at 48 hours and create the auction for that as well. There we go. That'll be interesting. See if we get any sales that way. Let me just scroll down. I missed a whole load of chat there, so I do apologise if I've missed anything. Do shout out in chat if I missed something. But that's a simple method. Let's carry on with our crafting as it is, because we still need some chaos crystals. So the way I would think about my chaos crystals here, in this case, we still need 74 hexweave bags. What I'll do here for the chaos crystals, let's look at this. So we'll go on over to our order hall mission over here. So we did the Elite Strike Centenax. No, I've gone the wrong direction. I need to go this way. Where's my alliance area I want to go to? Oh, lost my bearings. There it is. That's where I want to go. So I'm going to go into my priest order hall and pick up that mission that I just did. I did this about a week or 2 ago. And we're going to head on back. I haven't been here for a long time. Really nice going here. I remember when this was a thriving area. And so our mission here was the Elite Strike Centenax, which will give me 7,000 nether shard fragments. So we've got that. So our 7,500 nether shard fragments. So we'll go from here. I don't think there's any more at the moment. Let me just check whilst I'm here. Don't see Dying World. There's a load of things here. There's armour and things like that I don't really need. We'll ignore the rest for the moment. A vendor isn't connected to a faction. Ah, right, okay. Exalted for which one? Oh, did I miss one from earlier? Gets boring after 22 ults though. Oh, right, there's that from Drizzling Roses stuff. So then we'll go along from here, and with our 7,500 nether shards, we're going to fly off the Broken Shore and go to the vendor that is down here, down at the bottom somewhere. I remember when I used to fly around here and I didn't have my view distance on 10 and I couldn't see everything. Jack and Neil, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, the Brutosaur is full price. Yeah, there is no faction bonus on it, unfortunately. So there's the Centonex. We just did the Elite Strike there. There's my buddy Sol, who's come to join me.
Champion, the Legion holds our forces captive.
Okay, haven't been down here for a long time.
Rescue them before their light fades.
So I'll close that down and head on over here to the vendor, who I think should be here. Blood Elf Priest and Priestess. No, it's not you. It's you, the War Mage Kathleen. I'd like to buy from you. Now from here I will buy the not sell, buy the Dauntless gear, which costs 400 nether shards each. So I will buy actually if we go to the standard use interface and I look for, say, like a Dauntless Gauntlets, if I shift click this and using buy them all, I will just hit the maximum amount of these. So for 8,000 nether shards, I'll buy 20 of these. So I'll click all of those, buy 20 of those. So with these Gauntlet gauntlets, so as the real G, you miss him. Who's that from? Only Priest mains really know. Sol. Oh yes, yeah. I miss Sol. Sol was great fun. Right. So with those Dauntless Gauntlets bought, we now need to create those into something for my loot specialization. So we do have to create gloves on each of those. Yes, it was buy them all, which is really handy for just having the sort of the maximum amount for everything. Thank you, Coffee Can. I'm probably way behind on my schedule of things I wanted to get done today, but we're having a good old talk about different techniques here, so definitely worth doing. Just tried the formula. We have Veiled Crystal, and it says it's invalid. It would have. Are you using? Have you taken the speech marks off, the beginning and the end, the parentheses? Because you need to do that. Where's this? This has changed from the new items. Oh, it's not Fen Spirit. Where's the rest of my Dauntless gear? Hold on, let me reset new items. So we got 4 of those. Where's the rest? Oh, there it is, it's down here. I need to click on this now. Yes, that's the other thing, is check that you've got a price for your nylon thread, because it will rely on that as well. Okay, not working too quickly through this, because it keeps on changing its position in the bags, which is slightly confusing, because I keep on having to try and find where it is now. It's now, no, not Personal Time Displacer. Where has it gone? I've lost it. Hold on. Right, bags. Reset new items. There we go, it's at 11. There we go, it keeps on changing when something new comes in. There we go, that's a bit better. Let's close that down. Need my bags back up. Just got to keep an eye on this icon whilst I do that. Not paying attention does make this a little bit harder. So I'm going to make all of these, and then it's gone again, so I reset the new items, then I can click that again. There we are. What enchants am I making with these crystals? I will be making some of the Legion enchants. I'll have a look at my list in a moment. We'll go through that once I restock on everything. But sometimes some of the Legion enchants can sell for more than the current content stuff. People use the Legion enchants for leveling. As well as some of the older ones, the Pandaria. I've got a whole list on my enchanting deep dive. I go through all of these different things that I do sell on a regular basis, and you're welcome to take my groups from my paste bin. There we go. So we've made all of those, and go through here and go into, where's my disenchant window? So these haven't appeared in my disenchant window. Why would that be? Let me try a manual disenchant. Yeah, we can do a manual disenchant. That's easy enough. Let me just check my TSM disenchanting. Make sure there's nothing I've changed there. None of these are in there. That is set to epic. That is all fine. So TSM destroying should show for this, but for some reason it's not. So the easiest workaround for this is to just do these manually with the keyboard shortcut. I have disenchant down here on the equals key, so I'll just go through and click on these manually as they're just here. Get ourselves some chaos crystals and some occasional blood of Sargeras, which is also going to be useful for some enchants. So we'll get a good segment of chaos crystals here. Enchant scale down, so they are awesome for leveling. Yeah, exactly. And you can put them on an heirloom and send them to whichever character you want. So there we go. And Owlicious, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. We're just going through doing a little bit of old world Legion enchanting. This is what got me into gold making. When I started gold making, this was the expansion that I really started it in. Halfway through Legion, I'd just gotten flying, and this was what I focused on. It was Legion enchants, and that's how I started my long journey into gold making. So that's a whole load of chaos crystals. So we've ticked off our task list on that front. We go onto this and open up the task list again. We'll have a look here. So don't need to do the temporal crystal here. We still need some gloom dust, some mysterious essence we could do quite easily, because I have, it looks like Oreo's disappeared. So I'll just turn his camera off for the moment. There we go. Oh, Obliterum, how I miss you. Oh yes, of course. Doing the old Obliterum shuffle. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? So mysterious essence we want here. I'm going to use my spirit dust to make that. I actually need to make 3 because TSM is thinking I'm going to make it from the ethereal shatter here. But I'm not going to do that. Gloom dust I can get from disenchanting braces quite easily. I need another 10 veiled crystals and some rubbery flank, and there's a whole load of infinite dust I need here. Now, how could I easily get infinite dust? That would be interesting. Infinite dust comes from, I've got to think of the expansion it comes from. My mat cost is 5 gold 47. Actually, if that min buyout is correct at 4 gold, then from the Abyssal Shatter, that's it, Wrath of the Lich King. I think I have Abyssal Shatter. Yes, I do. I have Abyssal Shatter. So I do have some Abyss Crystals, which are currently at 9 gold. Or Infinite Dust. Yeah, we could do it that way, or I could just buy those from the auction house. It might be easier to buy those from the auction house looking at things. If that price is at 4 gold, not 40 gold, that should be easy enough to buy those. So we'll just go and have a look and scan for those. You say use the shatter, do you, Rasheen? It depends. I mean, infinite infinite dust here is at 4 gold. It gives you many infinite dust per shatter. Does it really? Okay. So if we were to look at, thank you for your advice, arcane crystals. Arcane, was it arcane crystals? No, did I get that wrong? Let me have a look. Hold on. What did I look for? It was Wrath of the Lich King, wasn't it? Bear with me, caller. I'll go through and look at it. Northrend, Abyssal. That's it. Abyss crystal. Wrong crystals. It's always worth double checking. Check twice, cut once. Abyss crystal. That was what I wanted. Yes, Abyss crystal. So if we shift click that, we'll just show those exactly. So those are currently at 9 gold 50. So how many? We don't have a TSM destroying tooltip on this, so it doesn't tell me exactly how many I would get there from an abyssal shatter. Essence or dust. So let me just check this and see what kind of numbers I get. Let's move that off to the side and let's do 1 abyssal shatter here. What do we get in terms of, we get 4 greater cosmic essence. Let's try another one. Infinite dust times 7. You're right, machine. You were very right, as always. And then greater cosmic essence. So you'd have to look at the odds on that, but infinite dust times 9 is definitely better there. Infinite dust times 8. So I could probably do this with just the ones I've got. I've got enough infinite dust, or I need 48, don't I? Actually, I need quite a bit more than that. So I'll have to buy a few more abyss crystals at that price. So let's go through and do that. We don't know the dates yet for... oh, that's for... maybe the bracer shuffle from Wrath of the Lich King if Matt costs on that much. That's another idea. It's Dreadhunter. That's a good one, definitely. What is the last day of the Brutal? I think it was that one. When Shadowlands is released, yes, as Dr. Grimm said, and we don't know the actual date of that. So let's go through. Let's go back onto where we just looked. Abyss Crystal exact. So we need a few of these. Let's buy... I mean, 9 gold 50 seems a good price. So for the purposes of restocking here, I'm going to buy them all. So we're going to buy that and click that and click that. And then we're done on that. And then there's a mailbox. There should be a mailbox nearby. I don't see one on the map. So let's head on back to Dalaran, I think. That should be easier. Aim for September. Yeah, I think September or August would be definitely one. Downstairs is the mailbox, is it? Well, I've already Hearthstone, so I'll have to remember that for next time. We'll go to this one for the moment. Or in Dalaran, exactly. It's easy enough to get to. There we go. And because we'll probably need to go and do a little bit more shopping anyway. So now with our Abyss Shatter, what I might do actually, I'll take this Abyssal Shatter and I'll set it as a favourite. There we go. So that way we have it at the top here, that we can make use of it. So I remember now that I can use this to get myself some decent enchants here. So let's do a few for now. See what kind of infinite dust we get. There's a few procs there, and obviously there's these. We're getting the greater cosmic essences as well, which we'll probably make use of. Once we get enough infinite dust, that should be good. Down to 29. Another 10 there. Need 11 more, and then one more there. Once we get one coming through. There's 8. Okay, we got enough there, so we'll keep the rest of the Abyss Crystals for now. Right one too, how are you? Thanks for stopping by, hope you're doing well. basically starting with 0 gold. You have 22,000 at the moment, so maybe you can do it, and you're brand new to everything. Well, it's definitely possible, Hypoc, if you follow Kuhn and his methods. Obviously you do need flying for what he's doing at the moment with going around and collecting all his herbalism and mining, but it's certainly possible to work towards that whilst going around and doing things, and you'll work your way through it, certainly. Gus Gorman, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So if you haven't followed Kuhn, let me just give him a shout out, because his gold making methods are simple and approachable by everyone. So if you're just starting out, I would certainly recommend have a look at his stream and see what he's doing. He's got a really good Reddit post on everything at the moment. And Fire Flynn, thank you very much also for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Just be consistent and take it in bite-sized chunks, you'll be fine. Exactly. Dave Alina, thank you very much for using your Prime and subbing. Thank you ever so much for your support. Really is appreciated. A whole load of emotes for you. Thank you very much indeed. And Henky1983, thank you also for your follow. Thank you for stopping by. Excuse me. Right, so we're going through restocking at the moment. We need some more rubbery flank and some veiled crystals. I'm going to do a little bit of crafting here as well. And we also need some gloom dust. So we can get this from crafting these, which is easy enough. You have flying, max enchanting and max tailoring with rank 3, just about everything. Okay, so you're in a very good position then, Hypoc, definitely. So having enchanting and tailoring is a good shout. I would say flesh out your tailoring and do a lot of the old world stuff. The same with your enchanting. You also have inscription with max herbalism and 1-for-1 inscription. Even better. So with that herbalism, you can probably go around and just do the raw mats for a start, certainly. It's important to focus on doing something you enjoy or you'll get bored and quit. It's very, very good advice. We've got a lot of bolts in Bifrost Weave to make here according to that. So let me just swap over to here and make these in this method, because it'll be much, much quicker to do it this way. This will feed into our Frostweave bags that we need to make. And then hopefully get some nice sales on these as well. And then we also need the Netherweave, which Netherweave can be quite slow to make the bags. And so for a small profit, your kind of time versus money isn't really ideal unless you're doing something else at the same time. With that set up, the Bracer Super Shuffle will be good for you, definitely. If you have a leather worker as well, if you've got another character you can get at 120 or 110 just to get started on leather working. You don't need to be too far into it, but if you can get a leather worker making honourable combatant bracers at rank 3, then that's definitely worth doing. You need a few marks of honour to do that. Those bracers tend to be the cheapest to make depending on your server prices. But then you could certainly turn all that tide spray linen into tide spray bracers and then disenchant the blues and send the greens to your leather worker if you've got one set up, and then get the leather worker to make something like honourable combatant bracers and then send those back to your enchanter who will disenchant those and turn those into veiled crystals. And that way you can use 3 professions to rotate round for the potentially best price possible. But if you are going to do that, I would suggest use the spreadsheet that I have, and it'll tell you whether it's worth it or not. What are new expansions like for gold making? Wild West or predictable? A bit of both, really. We saw some massive fluctuations with the start of BFA. The Dark Moon decks for Inscription did particularly well. Lots of people made money on those. I didn't personally, because I didn't have Inscription at the time. But you can also pretty much guarantee that, say if you start with finding the raw materials and selling those as a sort of like a first start, the prices for those will be really high to start with as everyone's trying to work things out. Then you could start looking at professions and feeding those professions and turning those raw materials into something more profitable, finding out which ones everyone's looking for, and then doubling down on those and selling those. That tends to be the way it goes in general. If you don't Panda Challenge modes, you can travel there a bit faster with the dungeon portals. If you don't or do Panda Challenge modes, you can travel a bit faster. But I ended up setting my for Samadan, I set my Hearthstone to the shrine in the middle. That was easiest for me. Let's make these nether weave whilst I'm here. Create those. Yeah, I didn't do the challenges. With the new auction house, can't monopolize 200 herb stacks anymore on a new expansion. Why wouldn't you be able to? You can just post as many as you want. It doesn't have to be pretty stacked. You basically just need to go and post on regularly and often, and then you'll be able to monopolize the market, especially with the new expansion, I would say. Right, let's go through and finish off these. So gloom dust we needed, and we also need rubbery flank, should be easy enough to buy. It's actually quite expensive here at 40 gold. Normally I'd be buying this for 30 gold, but I should still be okay for that. I think we'll take, how many do we need? 48. It will eat into my profits, but that should be alright, I think. Right, we've got that, we've bought that. Gloom dust and veiled crystals are next. We could probably do with, I don't know how much expulsum I've got on this character. I've only got 2. I should probably swap over to Earthen, who has the expulsum to be able to make some braces quite quickly. So I'll jump on over to Earthen. So this is kind of like the Bracer Super Shuffle in action. So we've made, we need 10, excuse me. We need 10 veiled, oh dear, still can't speak. Give me a minute. There we go. We need 10 veiled crystals. So I'm going to just make, minimize this and go over here. I will make honorable, now which will be cheapest? These are 152. Sinister is 209. Notorious is 453. Notorious male is actually even cheaper at the moment at 116 gold. Sinister is at 156, and that's at 159. Oh, looks like Oreo's come back. Let's pop his camera on as he comes and joins me. It's because I don't have any calcified bone at the moment, but that's quite cheap actually at that price. But I can find myself some calcified bone. Let's have a look here, run a shopping scan on that. Move this across a little bit. Oreo's actually miles away there. So yeah, the calcified bone at 59 silver is definitely worth buying. So let's have a look at that in more detail. 293 of it. I will buy all of that. And then there's also 498 here at 1 gold, which I am also going to buy. Then I'll leave the rest there. So then I should be able to go over here and pick up those purchases. We do have some sales here from the week. A couple of uncanny waist guards and a bow of the fire flash of 14,000. That's really nice. Some coarse leather barding, drums of the mountain, and drums of fury. So some good sales there on Earth, and I'll pick those up whilst I'm here. And then we'll go and make the braces we wanted to make. So now we can make some honourable combatant, those are still saying 136. So the notorious ones at this price for the... now there's the big difference. My Cragscale mat cost is 90 silver, whereas that is looking at much more expensive at 37 gold. That's why that's different. So I won't use this Cragscale price. I think I'll do something much more realistic here, which is the... See, the Tempest hide is really cheap as well. I should buy that Tempest hide at that price. That's going to help me as well. Let me just do that now whilst I remember. One thing leads into the other. Let's get some Tempest hide. Wait for it to pop up here. There it is at 59. So we'll take the 526. We'll buy those. And actually I'll buy everything up to 1 gold, I think. That would be useful. 196 there. We'll take those. And then we'll take the 1,599 at that price. That will help my averages certainly. My mat cost here at the moment is 4 gold 48. So if I now pick these up, because I've got smart averages turned on, if I go and collect all of these up, and now look at my Tempest hide price, calcified bone Tempest hide, now my mat cost on average is 2 gold 22, based on the 36,000 I purchased over the course of this expansion. Apparently wolves in the new Vales are skinnable for Cragscale. Okay, they're not Cragscale, it isn't a fish. Right, Cragscale has spiked on your server along with Zinthidin Osmite. Fewer people doing Najatar content. If skinnable, it's dredged leather. Okay, thank you, Mushy. Mushy has all the information on leather working, thankfully. And thank you also, Rachel GR, Rachel Green, for the follow. And Rigor Mortis, thank you also for the follow. And Bacon Totem, thank you also for the follow. Thank you all for stopping by. So we're looking at leather working here. So now let's look at our honourable combatant prices. And we are now at a crafting cost of 109 gold, which is even better. So we only need 10 Veiled Crystals. I've got 174 Expulsum. So I'm actually going to just make 24 to give myself a little bit of extra stock here. And we'll create those. And you are very welcome. There we go. And so we're going to make these braces, and then we're going to send these over to Samadan using my mailing operation, and then we're going to make these into Veiled Crystals. I know I'm taking a lot of time doing this, and we haven't even looked at Tomcat's add-on yet. We need to have a look at that. I need to get through all my restocks first, and my gold as well. Open up the mailbox for everyone else. So let's go groups, and let's go mail selected groups. So all our braces will get sent over to Samadan. So we'll jump back onto Samadan, and we'll get this restock finished off. We also need to go and look at my garrison as well, because I probably need to restock on that. It's kind of all the little gold making chores that add up to a decent amount of gold in the end. There we go, let's turn Oreo's. There we go, Oreo's camera is better framed. Okay, back over to Samadan, and the mailbox is over here somewhere, but I can't see it. So I'm going to take a little run over to my favourite mailbox over here. I'll go to this one, and then I'll pick up all of those braces. If I hold Control and Shift, open mail, I'll just take the braces. There we go, and then Control X, and start scrolling through this, and we can start making some Veiled Crystals. If it gets stuck, I just tap X again. Chaotic, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. You sold 18 bags over this stream. Wow, amazing, Jizzing Rose. That's fantastic. Is that, I take it it's Hexweed bags, yes? That's amazing to have such a good turnaround. Well, there's some good procs there of veiled crystals. Got loads then. Lots of times 2s. That's always useful. Of course, yes, exactly. The good sellers. I wonder how long the Hexweave bags will remain good sellers. I wonder if in Shadowlands we'll get a some more readily available 32 and 34 slots bags. That would be useful. Is the enchanting tool of the trade always active? It is if it's in your bags. You have to make sure it's on your bags at all times and not in your bank, and then it works. I guess you need to post some too. Definitely, Darkwing. Cheers, your YouTube videos help you greatly getting TSM up and running. Oh, excellent, Chaotic. I'm glad it was useful to you. If you do have any questions, feel free to shout them out in chat, and me or one of us will answer as best we can. So now we have a load of veiled crystals. That fills that role. We do need some gloom dust. Now, depending on the price of gloom dust, I could just buy it up. Or I could get some from some bracers. Let's have a look. Shopping wise, this says enchanting craft, so I imagine it's going to be more expensive. 18 gold. Yeah, that's quite expensive considering my mat cost is more like 6 gold 48. So I will make myself some bracers. I can make 212, but I don't need that many. I only need 12 gloom dust here. So I'll just make 12 bracers. And I'll disenchant them all, including the greens. Because the greens will give me my gloom dust in large enough quantities for this to be easy. As we're getting quite a few greens this way anyway. Your empire would crumble to dust like cornflakes under the soul of a house slipper. Yeah, that we'd have to adapt to those new markets, certainly, Drizzling Rose. Although, that said, we've been looking at bags tonight, and we can see that bags of various sizes still sell. So I think Hexweave bags will still have their place, definitely. Right, so let's go and disenchant all of these bracers. We'll have plenty of gloom dust out of all of these. We don't need this many, but we'll at least get some stock going. And then we're in a good position for Samadan's restocks. I spent lots and lots of time on this. I'll probably get very little time to go over on Stabadan at this rate. But hopefully we've learnt a thing or two here. I certainly have. And then we've got that. Now, is that my full list? Let me have a look at the TSM list here. We still need Hexweave cloth. And we still need actually one expulsum here. So let's go over to our garrison first, which is this one. Still got, got 10 seconds left on Dalaran. That'll be useful. I'll need that at the moment. Still, I think you should look at making some of your alt engineers for the Sky Golem mount. There's a good idea, Will. I know you're focused on the Hexweave bag side of things, but yes, the Sky Golem would be a nice addition. Just need to make more alts. Tailoring Emporium, we'll do another one of those, and I'll leave the rest of that for the moment. I'll come back to that another time. Got plenty of garrison resources as it is, so I'll go around here, we'll collect up our crate, get some more resources, and then we'll head on over. I've not been focusing too much on the enchanting side of things. I've just been doing the tailoring side of things. I haven't needed as many temporal crystals of late, so we can at least do this for now and get some more Hexweave cloth going here, and then use my rush work order Tailoring Emporium to boost that back up, and then get ourselves some more, and then that's another 30 Hexweave, and then back and start the orders again. down to 182 sumptuous fur, so I'm nearly out of sumptuous fur. Oh no, I've got another 800 in the guild vault. That'll be fine. So we have our hexweave cloth. We just need some expulsum now. So we need to go back to Borealis and we need to scrap some braces. So let's go to Dalaran here, because we've got this set to the Golden Lantern, as I mentioned earlier. And then we'll jump back over and have a look at my other things as we're running through this. T-Cons FF, thank you very much for the follow. Sorry if I butchered your name. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. Right, so the next place we need to go is Borealis. So we need to go Stormwind and then go over to Borealis. It's a bit of a long-winded way having to do it this way around. I might change my Hearthstone back because I've not been doing any of the 8.3 content. I still haven't got my cloak yet. And PJC iPad, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. You got one alchemist for transmute sources elements at the moment. Okay, so you got at least a little bit going in different ones. Never have too many transmute masters. If you want easy ghost iron, set up the mop farm. You can do it on any character. Yes, I have got the mop farm set up on Awakening, so I could probably do that on a few other characters certainly. Let's go over to Borealis here whilst I'm here. People in trade selling armor items for 3 million gold. Is any item worth that much for only 10 months? It's an interesting market. Some people are going for it, obviously. It's a lot of gold though for one piece of gear that, like you said, is only going to last a certain amount. Right, so we need to go over and make some braces to scrap them to get ourselves some expulsum. So we'll head on over here. We've spent a lot of time on Samadan, so hopefully we'll jump onto our other characters in a moment. So for one expulsum I don't really need too much. Probably 10 braces at a maximum. I'll make 20 to be safe and get myself a little bit more expulsum at the same time. We'll probably get some blues in here as well, which I will disenchant anyway. We'll get that running through. Yeah, Limit did spend a great... We mentioned this in the Wowhead blog earlier. They spent 250 million on gear. It was a lot. Imagine Shadowlands' expensive mount to be a scrapper and a mailbox. I don't want to see the scrapper in Shadowlands. I certainly don't. That was a strange noise. They sell mythic runs, exactly, and they get the money back that way. Fallenstad, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. I thought they spent over 500 million and they're just 250 in debt. Oh wow, okay, that's even more. Think of it that way. I'm so sick of the scrapper, absolutely. Aiken Toxic, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. We do have a blue in there that we did have, so let's just reset this to new ones here, and we'll disenchant the blue, and then we'll scrap the greens. So let's go have a look at that. Oh, we've got a Veil Crystal out of that as well, even better. So we'll queue up these and hopefully get at least one expulsum, if not more. There we go, there's our first expulsum already, so that's a good start. He could really do with doing a proper session on Samadan and get himself a decent amount of expulsum. That would be a lot easier. It's kind of scrapper is one of the reasons you took a break from gold making. Yeah, exactly. Kind of so. It's a kind of, you have to be willing to do it, obviously, to get the best prices. But it is a slow mechanic, that's for sure. They were going for world first. Those prices to pay were premium. From there on, it'll be a race to the bottom with the BOEs. It will be, certainly. So we've got 4 expulsum total now. So that's what we needed. We have everything we need now to do all of our list of stuff. So in a roundabout way, we got there eventually. So we've got a whole load of stuff to make here. This is going to be a potential profit of 53,000 gold. So let's make these Frostweave bags to start off with. We'll start with this one. We'll go through the tailoring first, and then we'll go through everything else. There's so much gold to be made that has zero to do with the scrapper. This is true, Persephone. There's always a method to making gold. You don't have to use the scrapper, that's for sure. And netherweed bags do take a long time to make, and that's why I'm only making one here, certainly. Hopefully they'll also do something with inscription inks as well, because that process is terribly time consuming. Yes, I've not gotten fully into inscription, but I have noticed that. Uncanny Combatant Satin Cloak, we'll make one of those, even though I know people can get their cloak from doing the quest. I have sold one, so I will make another one. And let's get Pierre out so we can do our cooking. So Mekdal's Big Mek, 5 of those, 4 biltongs, 3 abyssal fried risole, and 2 baked potatoes. Simple as. Cop 570, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Now on to enchanting. Lots of things here. Lots of seals, deadly navigation, force multipliers, packs of critical strike. There's an elemental force in there. Binding of critical strike. That's needed the chaos crystals there. So let's go through and make all of these and get some sales. Exactly, Mekhet. It's strange, but I did actually sell one, so that's always good. K-Hole, wow, 9 months. Oh, Pikachu. That's fantastic. Given that I've started playing Pokemon Go now. K-Hole, thank you very much for your 9 months of using Prime. Thank you very much indeed. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you for your support over the 9 months. Very much appreciated. You've sold 2 Alani mounts so far, 14k each. Very nice indeed. Right, we're going to make all of these Cords of Critical Strikes, Deadly Navigation, Cords of Haste. Lots of nice things here to sell. Well, it does look like, looking at my profit margins there on the Accords, it looks like someone has reset the market on these. If these are telling me a profit of 2,000 and 3,000, that's probably why this is telling me a huge profit of 50 odd thousand. So whether this is going to be accurate over the course of the price dropping down, I don't know. But whilst it's high, I'll capitalise on it and see if I can get some sales. That would be useful. Definitely made it sound impossible to make gold because of the scrapper, which isn't the case. Yes. It was just basically, if it was, I guess if it's that, that was the aspect of the game that you wanted to do but couldn't do because the scrapper was involved, I could see how it would be off-putting, if nothing else. I know there are certainly alternatives, but if that was the way you wanted to make gold and that was kind of like a barrier for you, I could see how it would be frustrating. The hunter doesn't have a Hearthstone. It was in your bank. Oh, right, okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, looks like Cookies just walked past. That's why Oreo's looking a little bit worried. Right, we've made everything we needed to make. Let's quickly get this on the auction house. So let's go auctioning and run a post scan. It's only taken me about an hour and a half or 2 hours to get all of this restocked. It's a lot longer. We've had lots of different diverse bits to talk about along the time, so apologies if this has taken a while. But we're going to post all of this on. So netherweed bags at 22 gold, that's not a lot. How's the, where was the, see, we've got the internal auction area there, but we just ran through with the scroll wheel and we posted it back on. Where's the frostweave bags? I don't see them. Aha, that will be the same reason why we didn't have them before. If we go onto our posting operations, we'll see here that our bags aren't added in. So we need to just go through here and select all groups again and run a post scan. There we go, Silkweave Satchel, wow, 380 gold, that's really cheap. I don't really want to be selling them for that lower price. Frostweave bag, they're at 300 gold itself. I'm going to skip those. I think 538 would be better. I did buy some for 451 on average, so 538 would be better here. So I'm just going to quickly edit this. Let's edit the buyout one first. Change that to 5 and that one to 5. We can have a look at how many of these are on the auction house in a bit, but I'm going to post them on for that price instead. There we go, 16, or actually posting loads of here at the moment. We don't need to post that many of them, but we might as well, as we've got a larger stock of those. And Hexu bags are a little bit cheaper there at 900. Normally you can get over 1,000 for those. So we'll give that a go, that should be fine. So you have 218 Spirits of Harmony, but you don't have Crafting Toon on this server. Should you just sell them for a stack of 200? They're going for 20,000. I would give it a go, certainly. You could always try splitting some of them into Golden Lotus and try selling Golden Lotus for half the price. Aren't tailor shirts higher profits than Frostweave bags? They can be. There's a load of different shirts that sell for various prices. I've certainly found on my server. Okay, so we're done there. Right. Oh, my first alpaca. There it is. That's fantastic. Right. So let's go. Right, we're done with Samadan. Let's leave Samadan for the moment. Let's jump on our other characters and check their gold making. Otherwise, I'll be on Samadan forever. And I've got plenty to do. Also, bags tend to sell faster than shirts on most servers. This is true, definitely. Classic ultimately is what stopped you from doing stuff, though. You did that pretty hard for months, and then it was waiting for auction house changes, then realised how much the market's changed, just haven't gotten back into the things because you have to change so much. That's fair enough, and just do what's fun for you. The lumberjack shirts certainly go for a decent amount. Now I haven't actually. That's a good point. I haven't gotten all of those on Samadan. I should go and find them. Right. So sales on Awakening. He's on very well this week. 221,000. Greater Flask of Endless Fathoms. 49,000 there. Greater Flask of the Currents. 47,000 there. Greater Flask of the Undertow. 32,000. And then various other potions. So we really will need to restock on these, hopefully. So let's open up all of those. That will give me at a lovely 495,000 gold on Awakening. That's very nice indeed. We need a proc though if we're going to do anything with that. Let's have a look at where we're at with our potions. I don't have that many on. Let's do a quick cancel scan of where we're at. Let's see if we've been undercut. We most likely have since this morning when I posted everything on. So we'll go through here and take all of these and cancel those. Yeah, cancel scanning is definitely slower than it used to be. Did I buy the herbs and masscraft potions to put back on the auction house? Yes, I did, Kaelin. That is how I make my gold. It tends to fluctuate quite a lot because I will have to buy a fair amount of anchorweed and xenonthid to be able to do that. But let's just go through. We'll probably, I mean, what I'm waiting for at the moment is another Silas proc. Sorry, Rasheen, I mentioned Silas, but we are going to have to need a proc if we're going to be able to restock on these. Let's just go through and repost these on. Hexu bags down to 999 gold each at the moment. Been 4 days. You're tempted to spend 200,000 and reset the market to 1,700. Feels risky, but the last 4 times someone did it, it stayed on that price for a good week. I think it's quite worth doing. Sorry, Persephone. Let's get in with the Sensors emotes. No Silas talk. Well, let's see what we do. Let's try for a proc and we'll see what happens. Let's post all of this lot back on. There we go. Wicked Death, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. I think the wind's settled down actually. I can't hear it so much outside, which is really good. And thankfully the power has lasted so far, which is even better. Stablet, also thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And Zerafina, good evening to you. Welcome aboard, hope you're doing well. Right, let's try for a Silas. Decanter of Disguise, no luck tonight. We didn't get that one. So, let's have a look. Difference, thank you very much, using your Prime. Very kind of you. I see lots of emotes for you. Thank you very much for your support. That really is appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. And Mikey, thank you also for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so we can't actually make anything more with potion-wise. So let's have a look at... Well, I haven't posted that actually in the chat. There we go. They did say there could be power cuts and outages tonight. Thankfully, none here at the moment. Yes, exactly. Can you only try once a day for Silas? No, you can try once every hour. So it's not too bad. But I tried earlier today and I didn't get the buff. You know what? I'll do it. You'll remove your bags from the auction house now. Tomorrow morning you'll reset the market. You'll try it. Give it a go, Dressing Rose. And you'll see what happens. I mean, there's no harm in taking yours off now and putting them on at the high price now as a preemptive measure, and then just scoop up all the cheap ones in the morning. Right, so I've done that. I've done the daily cooldown. So the one thing I do want to look for here, shopping-wise, is some BFA herbs. And see if I can restock. Now that I've got some good gold reserves at 495,000. Now, Zinanthid is quite expensive, according to my MAC cost of 24. In fact, for my server, 66 and 64 is very high at the moment. So I will have to look out for this during the week. And I'll find a better price than 66 gold. Anchorweed, though, conversely, is way down here at 71 gold. Whereas my purchase price is more like 99 gold. So it looks like the price of that is dropping. I have 439 on me, so I'm tempted to buy some Anchorweed. I'll certainly take the 16 and the 143. Let's start with those. And let's build up my reserves from this point. That's 10,000 gold there. So that gives me a total currently of 598 Anchorweed. Now the next bracket would be here at 1,127. That would be a large amount to buy in one go. I don't know if I need that much Anchorweed at this point. Sandshifter is also at a reasonable price here, and that's for Dimitri's Guise of Deception. That's probably worth buying up now to get myself a stock of that, because I only have 170 of that left. So I'm going to buy that at that price. And let's have a look at my other herbs. Winter's Kiss, 789. Siren's Pollen, 1,300. 700, 500. Star Moss. And then we've got 3,000 Zinanthid already in stock, so I can afford to hold out for a little bit on that. So my other thing to think about is the Anchorweed. So currently at 598, maybe I just need about 400 of these. So let's try that. Let's try 400. That's 28,000 it's going to cost me. I'll buy those. And so I'm now down to 432,000, so I've still got a good amount of profit at the moment. So I'll take those. The wind has dropped here too, the moon is out. Oh, fantastic. Even if you spend the 500,000 you have now, you know the market very well, so they won't get stuck in your banks. Exactly, that's the thing, you know the market well. That's the best way to, and the best position to be in, and knowing when to reset a market. If you were playing, you'd be farming Zinanthid in my server all day long. Yeah, it's a decent price actually. How do I define my MAC cost on the Zinanthid? On average buy, yes, I pretty much do, and I have smart averages turned on. So in TSM, under the settings, I have accounting, I have used smart average for your purchase price. That way it will make use of just the average of everything I have in my bags and my bank, and not my historical price. Have I got the Love Rocket yet? Not at all. I've never ever tried it, Mushy. And that reminds me, actually, before we finish off, I did say I was going to have a look at Tomcat's add-on. and I haven't looked at it yet, but this looks good. So what do you have to do here? Defeat the insidious undead apothecaries of the Crown Chemical Company before they unleash the newest plague. So do you have to go into a group to do this? Next daily reset is Monday local time. Event ends Friday, February 21st. Okay. And this is, what is this? Characters must be level 110 to 120 to be eligible. And then what do we have here? Are these... Oh, do we need to collect these to get the chest? I think a lot about smart average. I really can't decide if you got it or not. Can you just talk a couple of ideas about it? Pros and cons. For example, on which class will it be useful? I pretty much use it for everything, because I find a historical average for me doesn't really make sense. I want my average price to be fairly consistent with what the market is currently doing. It's not a fully accurate average buy price, the smart average, because if you had got say I went and farmed some Zenithid, say I went and farmed 100 Zenithid, and then TSM will look at my past 100 purchases of Zenithid and include those in the average buy price. So it's not exactly accurate, but it's at least close enough. Druids have like 5 gear world quests out, 4 different zones today. You have 11 druids to do world quests on. Send help. That's a lot. Definitely, Persephone. Good luck on that, certainly. You don't have TSM because you like the graph on the front page. You don't know how to use it. Well, you'll get there, Justin Rose. Take it in time. It'll eventually suck you in, I'm sure. So I hope that explains kind of my thinking behind smart averages. I pretty much use it for everything. But one thing I don't know is how to do the love rocket. I'll have to look into this in more detail, but this looks really nice, this add-on. I can see how this will be useful. Sorry, Oreo, you're completely in the way here. Let's just move you down here. There we go. Honestly, you're intimidated by TSM, and the skin it's using is not helping you. Yeah, I know it doesn't look as classic as WoW is, so it's very much a very sort of metallic look to it, and I know that's not for everyone, certainly. 2 5-box teams and your personal druid that you keep around. Just having the odd extra druid. That's not too bad at all. So what I need to do is go to Wowhead and look at their guide for how to actually do this, because I've not actually done it at all before, ever. It's useful to check if you have done it with your alts, I guess. So you have to do it every day to have a chance to drop on that mount. 110 level needed. New auction house looks better than TSM in your opinion. The new auction house is lovely. Yeah, I do like its look and feel. If we could maybe have a skin like that on TSM, then I think we'd be onto a winner. I mean, we already are. It's a cosmetic thing more than anything else, but I think that would be the icing on the cake, certainly. You'd get rid of the random one, but she's your elixir master. Exactly. I would hate to get rid of any character that I've spent any time on. So that definitely looks worthwhile. I'll give Tomcat's add-on a go if you're looking for the Love Rocket this season, hopefully. So we're done here. Let's pop onto... So restocking, we can't do a lot here. Let's jump onto Earthen and see if there's anything we need to do restocking on the leatherworking side of things. We did have a couple of sales, so I'll have a look at those. I just got greedy and bought 70,000 tides for 70,000 Tidesay bracelet for shuffling. Please kill me. Good luck, Rothir. It's doing the shuffle is time consuming. I guess what you need to do is if you have it on a second screen and you can do something else on your main screen, then it goes by slowly but surely. You could flip them all, but you prefer to invest as little as possible. Yeah, we got there eventually. Right, let's have a look at my auctions here, and let's have a look at what we have on. Everything was relisted earlier, so that should be fine. And so we'll look at what we need to restock on. And Drums of Fury, coarse leather barding, some uncanny gear, mail treads, leggings, Drums of the Mountain. Do we actually have all the materials for this? Looks like we do, so that's easy. So let's start crafting straight away. Drums of Fury is the first one. Start with that one. This could potentially be about 7,000 or 8,000 profit. Q is like for 10 seconds for healers as well. Oh, okay, that's the event dungeon for lovers in the air takes 30 seconds. As a healer, it's very easy. It barely scratches the tanks. You did them as part of your ult daily crafting. Right, okay. Well, maybe I need to give this a go on Samadan. Have a look and see what it's like. I listen to an audiobook when you're shuffling on. Yeah, that's another one. Just basically have something else on in the background, either a film or an audiobook or your favourite streamer. Something like that would work. You can queue as a tank or heal with any DPS that can, and it won't matter, to be honest. The bosses die in seconds. Oh, right. So it's how many times can you do it? Just like one time per day per character that's over 110? I would guess so. Yeah, once per day per character. So it will help to be in a position like Drizzling Rose and have lots of characters you can just run through. I've only got, how many 110s have I got? I've got my Horde side character as well. Nadamas. That could work. Maybe this is something I need to look into doing. Collecting mounts. I have a terrible number of mounts at the moment. I have. Well, let's make these first, and we can have a look at my mount collection as it stands. Which is oh, we need some stonehide leather for that. It wasn't in the list. Stonehide leather can potentially be quite expensive. Let me have a look. Drums of the Mountain. It's currently at 2 gold 49, so that might be worth buying. Okay, let's have a look. We'll go over and do that now. And the 110s would get the XP as well, even better. Right, shopping, drums shopping. Let's turn off the BFA shopping. Raw Beast Hide is currently at 4 gold. Wow, that's cheap. My mat cost is at 5 gold 56. Stonehide leather here. See, my mat cost is telling me 4 gold 19. Yeah, this percentage is telling me 262. I wonder what's different there. So let's buy at 249. Let's buy 200 at that price. And raw beast hide we still got 500 of it. So let's buy out all the raw beast hide at that price for the drums. We'll keep the market on those for the moment. Terra Wow, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. We should create a Volpera character that we can find a name for it. That would be interesting. Foxy Dan, Volpy Dan, Sammy Fox, Furry Dan, something like that. I think there's plenty of good ideas already. I would like to get a Volpera. It does look like a cool character to have, certainly. Right, let's pick up all of these, and then we'll just carry on with our crafting, which is going to be the Drums of the Mountain. Skittles' Twitter account just replies to a Wowhead post. What is even happening? That's really weird. Why would they reply to a Wowhead post? Very strange. Okay, so Drums of the Mountain and all of that is all crafted, so that's fairly easy to restock on. Let's run through those and post those back on. Or let's just check, actually. some of this uncanny stuff might not be in our list yet. We're still propagating that. So uncanny selling. Yeah, there's some extra ones we need to pop in here. So let's add those in. Slowly building this list up as we make more and more. I'll run a post scan on that. I'll put these as a paste bin soon. I know people have been asking for my paste bins. I'll update them with the 8.3 changes. Not that I've really changed all of it yet. I'm still using the old operations for most of it. Why isn't there a Skittles mount yet? Marketing their gold farming. Yeah, something like that. Clearly a dark furred Volpera named Oreo is the way to go. That's a good idea, actually. That would be quite cool. I think Oreo approves. He's filling the camera at the moment. Aren't you, Oreo? Let's just move you back over the top there. Okay, so we're done on Earthen. We picked up his gold earlier. So let's just quickly jump onto El Morte, see how the Living Steel market is going. I believe there were some sales this week. I haven't really restocked on Living Steel though, so I will need to have a proper look at that in the future. Right, let's have a look. See if we've had any sales since I last looked. Oh, we do have a few. Greater Healing Potion, Primordial Ruby, Sun's Radiance, and Living Steel. Okay, 10,000 gold. That's a good start. We're currently back up. We did spend a lot of my gold that I had on this character on all these Motes of Harmony and Spirits of Harmony. I've still got a lot of stock here. I've still got lots of Ghost Iron Ore. I've still got lots of Spirit of Harmony. So I can make more Living Steel. I just need to go through the process of converting it and smelting it and doing all of that. I won't do that tonight because we're nearly done already. Can't believe the time has just completely disappeared today. So we will restock on this character though. So let's just have a quick look at that. I'll go through and check my auctions. Everything's there. So then we'll go on to our alchemy and restock selected groups. So we do need to make some Living Steel. We can make some Sun's Radiance and Primordial Ruby to start off with. And then we will need to come back to this and do the Living Steel. We need the trillion bars of that. We need to go for the Ghost Iron. We can do a little bit whilst we're here. Let's maybe just do a little bit before the end. You had a red Volpera with Kigurumi from BlizzCon named Dex Bonus. It had plans race train changing your Shaman from Goblin to Volpera. Doesn't look that good, so you're going Mag'har Orc instead. Yeah, the totems, I haven't seen those, but I like the whole idea of the Volpera and the thing that they've got going on. So I definitely will be considering rolling one when I'm adding to my character roster. What I'd like to do is get all of the ones I currently have up to a decent point. Alright, so where are we at with our smelting? Could we do something here? We could smelt some Ghost Iron, or let's do a little bit of this for the moment. Ripnaros, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well this fine evening. I won't do a lot of this tonight because I know I need to also have a look at Stabadan. We still haven't looked at him. We've literally spent all this time, and my poor inscriptionist, or scribe rather, has been sadly neglected. I always get to him last, thinking that I'll spend most time on him, but all my time tonight is run out. So, but we've covered a lot of good topics. Whilst I'm here, I'm also thinking about the other side of this. We were looking at the Arcanite bars as well. That was another thing. I think I do have some pyrite ore on me, and I do have some Arcanite bars here, which I don't appear to be selling at the moment. I don't have a group for those. I really should have that on as a group, the Arcanite bars. And then what else have I got here? Huge citrine, true silver ore. Yeah, I'm kind of missing a little bit here in terms of what I could set up in terms of potential gold making here. So just looking at this a little bit further, we've got the Saronite. I haven't really got much done on there. Smelting. Enchanted Elementium is another option. We could do something with that. One of the female Vipera jokes, she says, I want you to know I cherish our friendship, but if you die on me, I'm taking your stuff. 30 of your bankers are level 5, but if something goes wrong, you can't recover. That can only be done if you're level 30 plus, you've been told. Oh, I thought it was it 10 or 20? But then I might be wrong. 30 might be the level it needs to be. You changed your mind just because of the extra bag slots. Yeah, having the extra bag slots is definitely worthwhile, I'd say. If nothing else. Right, I think I've made enough ghost iron for the moment. Let's see what we can make out of that. So let's go to our alchemy and let's look at our transmute trillium bar out of our ghost iron bars. But then the other thing we're looking at here is transmute titanium. And then we've got riddle of steel coming through here. We can make at least 3 of these at the moment. There's a proc of 2 and another proc of 2, so we've got 5 living steel, so we can at least get those on. Let's do that whilst we're here. And then we can look at, I need to look at this profession a little bit deeper. I know Jack had some quite good things that I don't think I've fully got sorted here, that I could maybe look at and expand on this group. So let's go auctioning and let's run a post scan on that. Sun's Radiance, Living Steel. Living Steel's quite cheap actually at 699. Normally I can sell that for higher. Average sale price is 1,300. So that's quite at the low end at the moment. But it's still a profit at that point. So I should be okay at that moment. Razormaw Hatchling and the Plans Thorium leggings are above max expires now. So I have to look at something to do with those. And shopping wise, no, I don't leave that. We also want to look at, if I go to the standard user interface and try and sell these Arcanite bars, or maybe I'll get something for these. So let's just add those in. Currently there's 7 sellers, so how much is it? 60 silver or 1 gold 20 for 48 hours. Let's stick it on for 48 hours and see what we get there. Let's also try this pyrite ore. Market value is 93. Prospect values 19. That's pretty high. Let's try and sell that for 90. Well, as there's no items, let's try 123. You never know, in for a penny. Huge citrine. Volatile fire. Don't think there's a lot else here. Elementium bars. Mithril ore, dense stone. There's hardened elementium, which is going here for crafting cost is 256. Min buyouts 434. I don't know if that's a decent seller, but we could potentially try and sell those. Let's create those. This is just kind of like testing the market out. I'm going to see if these sell, and if they do, then I'll make a group for them and properly go into this into a bit more detail at a later date. But that at least gets me going for the moment, I think.
If you find anything exotic, bring it to me.
There we go. Okay, well that's done. Let's in our last 13 minutes, let's at least have a look at Stabadan, so we can at least spend some time on progressing him. Baldoon is up for Emissary and has 4 kill, 1 name mob world quest. Oh, even better. That's very handy. Vale has to be one of your fave zones. I love the music in Pandaria, it's really nice. And the whole graphical feel of it to boot. I wish I was able, when I leveled through Pandaria, I didn't go through the whole storyline. And I'm looking forward to Shadowlands being able to focus on one expansion. So I'd love to do Pandaria justice and go through it properly. Oh, okay, we do have a couple of sales of contracts, Storm's Wake and 7th Legion. So this will add to Stabadan's gold. We're at a very modest 20,000 gold at the moment. So I'm trying to keep Inscription and Herbalism on this character at the moment and level it up within my means. So I don't want to overspend on this character, which is going well so far. It's slow going, that's for sure. Bone Arrow, how are you? Doing Love Rocket dailies, 32 toons a year now. Wow, Bone Arrow, good luck with that. That's a lot of different ones to go for. Right, let's have a quick look here. Hopefully you get the rocket mount after that though. Right, so Inscription. Sister Combatants Etched Vessel. Oh, this could be interesting. That's at 115. That's the 340 one. The Uncanny one is at 170. Okay. This might help with skilling up though. So let's have a look. What are my options for Inscription? Let's have a look here. You're doing it on 14, are you, Blem? But yeah, that's a lot. You're at 31 yourself. Corax was amazing for it. Yeah, Corax was great for getting the ults up. So, what have we got here? Contract 7th Legion is still worth doing a skill up for. The Dark Moon cards, I was considering doing these. We need Tortollan Seekers Revered, but that might give me a few good skill ups, but I do need Expulsum for that. So last time I looked at that, I was thinking maybe getting some bracers on Samadan sent over. But for the purposes of trying to level up Inscription a little bit more, I want to get to about 140 at this stage. So let's try a few more contracts here. We need some ultramarine ink. So let's do that from here. Let's create it from our pigment. Let's run through this for the moment. See how many things we can do in the time we've got. At least if we can get some skill points whilst we're doing this, then this is a good start, certainly. Making your 28 feel bad. Rarity says 500 kills, but it's a low drop. Hazel says it's around 3. Wow, is that 333,000 for the Love Rocket? That's absolutely crazy. You do only your monks for the XP. You want to hit 120 and all 8 you're missing before Comp Stomp. That's a good idea, and then use the Comp Stomp for your Marks of Honor. That's too many 3s. 3,333. It's still a lot, yeah. Okay, we've got 4 contracts we can make. That's 4 skill points, hopefully. Let's keep going for the moment. We may need a little bit more in terms of... Did I actually get a skill up there? No, I didn't. Crimson ink is something we're going to need, though. So let's finish the ultramarine ink. Let's make the 5 that we can make here. And get our skill up points that we need here. Make use of what we've got. So 7th Legion takes us to 130. Azurite neck level 77. Fantastic. Congratulations on that. I daren't say what my Azurite level is. 64 on this character. That's probably one of my highest ones. It's actually a very reasonable item level 400. We'd only see like 10 a year on each region. Now that would be very rare, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that? Okay, so leveling this up, what else do we need? We'll need some crimson ink, a little bit more on the ultramarine ink, and then, so what would we need for the crimson ink? It's a chance of one of these, wasn't it? We need to look at the cheapest one of these. herbs and use that. So let's look at my shopping for this. Let's look at my herb situation. So we'll go over to TSM4 and we'll have a look at our shopping, and we'll go on to, we'll just look at BFA herbs, run a shopping scan on these. I'm looking for the cheapest one. I'm going to use that for my ink making. Obviously not anchorweed at this stage. 5 gold 99 is a really good price for Winter's Kiss actually. My mat cost here is 653, so let's look at my mat cost actually of these, which is the cheapest based on what I bought them for. Riverbud was at 596. Because the market price has changed so much on Riverbud, I think Winter's Kiss might be a better thing to go for, as there's a reasonable amount available at that price, 563 and 360. So if we buy that, that's going to cost me 3,000. That's a fair chunk of my gold. And let's take the other lot here and buy those for another 2,000. So that's about 5,000 gold spent on herbs. If we go and collect those up and then mill those Winter's Kiss for some inks, that should at least get me a little bit more progress. So let's buy up those Winter's Kiss and then go over here and we'll go on to our Winter's Kiss. We can make 56 of those based off of that. So let's create all of those, and then we've got a bit of all the different pigments, which is going to be useful. So we mass mill all of those, and then we can at least make some crimson ink, some ultramarine ink, and some potentially a little bit of viridescent ink if we need it. But we're getting lots of the crimson here, which is really useful. We'll let that run through. Zenithid is 47 gold in your server. Is it worth farming and selling for that? Will says yes, definitely. If you got it to rank 3, then definitely. Get some stirrups and Darkman Firewater and go, as Mushy said. Yeah. I'm assuming you got flying as well, definitely. But it's an overfarm for herbs, so it's annoying to farm. Get low nose every time you try and farm it. Unless you can try and go on like first thing in the morning, or late at night, that would always be useful. Just found 150 savage blood in your bank. Brilliant, Drissing Rose. What are you going to use that for? Okay, loads of crimson ink here, and exactly the same for ultramarine ink, interestingly. That's because I've got exactly that much distilled water. We need to buy some more of that. So let's make a load of this crimson, and then we can make a little bit more ultramarine as well, and we'll run through this. I can see how Inscription you'd be spending a lot of time doing this, making inks. Her Death Day, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So you got a blacksmith to make some of the Panda PvP gear that has a decent sale price. Okay, that's a good idea actually. 1,150, and they're worth 50 gold each at the vendor in the trading post in your garrison. Oh, right, okay. That's very nice then. 50 gold each is a decent amount overall. Really good. Right, so let's make some... That's probably enough crimson. Ooh, hold on, didn't mean to press that too many. And ultramarine ink, let's make a load of those and see if we can get ourselves some more contracts going for this. So ultramarine ink, we need a fair amount for this. We'll let this run through. And then how many contracts? If we can make another 5 or 10 contracts out of this with only spending about 5,000 gold, that would be a good point to get to. I know this is a lot of 7th Legion contracts, and we could do with probably spreading it out a little bit. I suspect once we can get to the uncanny vessels, that might be really useful, but we need to get to 170 for that, so that's a little bit further. Sometimes it's 53 though, it's average of 50. Okay, put some on the auction house. On your server they go for 70 gold a piece. That's worth doing at least. Easier just to get the vendor gold in your opinion. You make like 700 a week. That's fair enough. Once you got that many going, that's plenty. Because we're at 5 7th Legion there, so we probably, oh no, we're up to 6, we're still going up. I'm deciding how many crimson we need versus that. We need to have double that amount really. So we're at 100 of the ultramarine ink. We really need to be at 160 roughly for that to work. We've got plenty of light parchment, we can do that, that's fine. We're running out of distilled water, we'll need to buy some more of that. We'll get that in a moment. But if we can make 10 of these, that'll be a great point to try and get our inscription up. We're at 8. So I guess this would have to get to, yeah, we're up to 10 nearly here. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm ready for the whole 10. That will be my main thing. There we go. We're done there. Whoops, escaped too many times. Let's create all of these. I don't know whether it starts to go yellow at what point. We might be okay up to 140. If they have mogs, then yes. Older dual parting weapons, pre-uncanny still sell. Yes, if they're transmoggable, definitely. Okay, now we are yellow on that, so we got to 139 out of 175. So, and that's now gone yellow. So we could then move on to the Darkmoon Cards of War. We could probably do with finding some more things. I'll have a look at the WoW professions as to what we need to do next. But we've made some progress on Stabadan, which is really good. So I'm really pleased about that. We can post some of those on the auction house if I haven't posted too many on already. Let me just check. Let's just run a post scan. Let's get some of those on. These are below minimum price, so let's just pop them on and see what we can sell them for. There we go. Misa and Funk, thank you very much for the follow. We'd love for the... do you need stirrups if you have the Sky Golem? No, but you get seasick from the swaying of that thing. Yeah, it does sway around an awful lot, that is very true. Love for the auction house, hex banks to get below 200. Then you can buy them on the main without taking money away from your guild bank. Savings for the Brutosaur. That would be interesting, but oh, below 200 in number, yeah, definitely. Or be a druid. That's another good one, as Blem says. Awakening, my main for that is very useful. My main herbalist, rather. Right, I think that is my time up. That has been absolutely an amazing stream. Thank you all for your company tonight. It's been absolutely amazing. Sorry I didn't get too much chance to do a lot with Stabadan here, but we have made some progress on inscription. We got up to 139 without spending too much gold, which is really good. Didn't get to look at the Love Rocket, things like that. We did look at the add-on briefly, and obviously went through the blog and all that sort of stuff. Let me have a look, and Hoy Anderson, thank you very much for the follow. Thanks for stopping by. We are just finishing up here. I will be on next week, and let's have a look and see if we can throw a host on over. Who is on at the moment? We have who is on? Well, as we were talking about Tomcat, and he is here. He was here earlier. He's doing his add-on development. I think we should throw a host on over to Tomcat. Let me just close that down and minimize that and wait for that to go through. And we'll send a host over to Tomcat. Thank him for his lovely, or her rather, lovely add-on working. So let's go through and do /host Okay. Show a bit of support there. Yep, that's all sorted. So, once again, thank you everyone. From myself and Oreo, we hope you have a lovely week. Raids don't host. Okay, I'll give that a go actually, Catitude. Let's do that. /raid. /raid Tomcat. There we go. Raid sends viewers straight there. Ah, right, okay. There we go, we'll give that a go then. Okay, so have a great week everyone. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. Have a lovely week of gold making. I look forward to hearing of your tales next week. Until next time, from me and Oreo, good night and farewell.